Test, 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 test. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? ABC 1 2 3. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Should be good to go now. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. All right, there we go. Waiter, taste the soup. All right. Good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being patient. What I was saying was welcome back to another episode of Format Podcast Live, Wednesday night edition. You know what time it is. We got a pretty good show lined up for you today. We're going to talk, as you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to talk some NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about Victor Wembanyama not showing up last night when he should have. And, these are the type of things that you don't see from the greats. You see more consistency, but we'll get to that. We'll talk about the New York Knicks, 4 wins away from their first championship since, the last 53 years, since 1973. So we'll talk about that. And then we will talk about whether or not there is drama in the New York Giants locker room and whether or not there should be, based on some interesting things that recently took place. So we'll get to all of that. But before we do that, you guys know what time it is. I want to give a shout out to the channel members because have to do that. Coach T, host of the Be Ready Sports podcast, aka Laker Nation, appreciate you. It's not that serious. Chief Sid Bubba, shout out to you. Shout out to everything you've done for our great nation. Shout out to everything you do for this channel. And of course, shout out to the boys from Annapolis. Order Harms. Baltimore Bruce was good. Steve, king of the chat, what's going on, my guy? Nino, Sneed, got what you need. Number one contributor. Micah, D-Ross 881, and Red Wolf 31. Appreciate all you guys for your continued support of the channel. Okay. We're gonna go ahead today. We're gonna do the thing where we do some quick hits, and then I'll open up the phone lines, take some calls on that. I think it's just going to be me tonight. So tonight's show might go a little faster than expected, but that's okay. We're going to have a good time regardless. And by the way, if any of you guys have any quick hits that you would like me to discuss or that you want to call in and discuss, don't hesitate to do that. Either call in with your quick hit or put your quick hit in the chat if you want my thoughts on your topic. So yeah, let's do that. All right. Let's get started. So first quick hit. This is interesting. Shout out to Paul from the Basketball Show. Really good NBA centered podcast. And he talked about this today, and it definitely got my attention. So here we go. So apparently it's being reported now that obviously we know that the biggest free agent name in the NBA this summer is, of course, one LeBron Raymond James Sr., right? And we know he was making about $52 million last year, 50 to 52 mil, somewhere right in there. And obviously that was something of a source of consternation, right? Because he opted into that because the Lakers didn't give him the extension that he was looking for. So obviously this year he is now an unrestricted free agent. He can go where he wants. And it's interesting because the Clutch crew is trying to push the narrative that there are a number of teams throughout the league that are basically lining up to get LeBron James's services. But I think we know that LeBron, I think he's building like $100 million mansion out in Cali and out there in LA. And so he kind of wants to stay out there. He's got a lot of business interests in Southern California and California on the whole. So that's kind of where he wants to be. And I guess he wants to stay with the Lakers. Obviously, there's a lot of brand recognition there and a lot of money to be made when you're a Laker, right? Which is funny because if I'm not mistaken, he spent more time as a Laker than he spent with anyone else, right? I guess if you count Cleveland as a whole, but if you talk about one stint with the team, he spent more time with the Lakers than anybody else. But I don't know if anybody else in the chat feels this. Feel free to respond. I still don't see him as a Laker, despite the fact that he's been there, 8 years now. He just doesn't feel like a Laker to me. I could be wrong. I'm sure some people are going to say, oh, you just hating, but he just doesn't feel like a Laker, right? Obviously, he's won a championship there, but, the all-time great Lakers have all won multiple championships there. But he doesn't feel like one. But anyway, the point is, what's being reported now is that LeBron allegedly wants the Los Angeles Lakers to come to him with an offer and for them to tell him what they're going to do with roster construction if he takes a pay cut. So I get it that he doesn't want to take a pay cut, but it is delusional at this point in his career knowing that he can't give you what he once could. And it's not because he's a bum or he can't play anymore. He just can't play at the same level anymore. Well, he's going to be 43 years old next season, if I'm not mistaken, or at the end of this year in December, he's going to be like 43. So he has played a ton, got a million miles on his legs, simply cannot do the same things anymore. And on top of that, that team they're not built around him anymore. That team is built around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. And so you're in a position where you're saying, really, LeBron? You want, if the reports are true, let me be clear, if the reports are true, you want the Lakers to come to you. So he still wants to have that feeling like he's still the king and he still controls everything, but it's not the case anymore, right? So whatever, dog. He wants to still have that feeling like he's still the king and he's still in control, but he just doesn't get it. He's not in control anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And realistically, let's say the Lakers come to him and the Lakers say, I'm just picking a random number. Okay, we got 15 mil for you, LeBron. Take it or leave it. Then what? You see, what all this really comes down to is the narrative that Clutch is putting out there that everybody wants LeBron and there's teams lined up, because we also got to remember the Bronny part. That's always a big part of this thing, right? But this narrative that everybody wants LeBron and there's teams lined up trying to get him, I mean, that's just patently false, right? Nobody is going to want to pay big money for a guy that can't do it anymore the way he once could. So it's crazy. So he wants to still, he's in his feelings about the Lakers, as everything that's been reported. So he wants to feel like the guy. He wants them to come to him and tell him what they're going to do. They're going to tell Luka what they're going to do. They're not going to tell him anything. If he wants to be there, he's going to be there and he's going to take whatever they offer. So it's just amazing to me that LeBron still feels like the Lakers owe him something when they have given this dude, the greatest gift that any franchise has ever given a player in the history of basketball. But, hey, it is what it is. So be it. But yeah, that's my, yeah, Joe, I think he'd be good back in Cleveland too, but Snead doesn't want to hear that. But even still, in all seriousness, I think that he has, he's gotten used to LA. Like we said, he's got the business ties out there. He's building that new house and all of that. So he probably doesn't want to go back there. And yes, Transformer, shout out to you, man. I agree that the story is perfectly written. Start and end in Cleveland. I agree, but I don't think he wants to be there. But it is what it is. All right. So that's my first quick hit. So here is the second one. Mooded, stop it. Here is the second quick hit. This one was kind of interesting. So last episode, I got on here and I talked about how I was to some extent wrong about SGA and the free throw merchant thing, right? Gave a shout out to Ed Dog, who's been telling me for longest he's a free throw merchant, blah, 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 right? So I think this is a situation, going back now and looking at it even more, where two things can be true. This is one of those things where the numbers say one thing, our eyes say another, right? So you're hearing people say that SGA is better than Kobe, or they're comparing him to Kobe and Mike in the way that, he's able to draw fouls and the way he plays the game. So he doesn't play anything like either of those guys other than he's elite in the mid-range. So I get the whole premise of he's great in the mid-range and he's got great footwork and he can finish through contact pretty well. Not like those guys, but he can finish well through contact. So cool. But what starts happening here is when you're watching SGA play, it's crazy because I don't know that we've ever seen anybody, that's Reggie Miller, that's James Harden, maybe LeBron, King Flopper. I don't know that we have ever seen anybody who so consistently looks to try and get fouls, right? Try and get contact as much as SGA does. And it's wild because this is a guy who he gets a lot of N1s. He makes the shots. So when you look at him, it's like he doesn't even need to be doing all that. It's just extra, right? Because again, you watch him play if we look at prime James Harden, I think was like 45% from the field, right? He was never an elite high level guy. So it's not like he was getting a ton of and-ones. It's not like he was, making all these shots and then still getting fouled, right? SGA is making these shots, so he doesn't need to be doing all the stuff he's doing and playing the way he's playing. So it's really weird when you watch him and it's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, this makes you look bad. You don't need to be doing all this. You're too good for that. Now, that's the eye test part of it. It looks really bad. He's too good for that. He looks like a flopper. Got you. Now, here's the problem. Here's where, because if you guys remember a while back, this is where I had completely decimated Ed Dog. When I brought out all the numbers and I did an episode and I broke it down and showed all the numbers about where SGA actually ranks in terms of the great 30-point scorers in NBA history and how many free throws he's taking, right? Okay, cool. So now we get to the next part of it, and I'm going to bring up some numbers. This is actually a post that I saw on X, right? So as you can see here, MJ, Kobe, and LeBron have 20 plus 1, 19 plus 2, 21 combined seasons with more free throw attempts than SGA had this year, right? So SGA's 22-23 season, 739 free throw attempts. I believe that's his career high for attempts. That ranks 144th most in any single season. So now when we get to it, the whole free throw merchant thing, this is what I talk about. It just doesn't hold water when you look at this historically, right? Because obviously we know Shaq got fouled a ton more. We know LeBron got fouled a ton more. Kobe got fouled a ton more. Michael Jordan got fouled a ton more. Now, you can't really look at this thing on its face the same way, right? What we have to do here now is start applying context, right? Because I know there's some people who are going to say, oh, so I guess Michael Jordan was a free throw merchant. But what they're forgetting is the much more physical era that Michael Jordan played in, right? So when you're playing in an era that's much more physical, there's going to be more foul calls. For, there may be, there may not be, but he was a vicious attacker of the rim and he was constantly getting hit. So that's not free throw baiting, right? You didn't see him flopping all over the place and doing that. But the point I'm trying to make here is when you see this, you see SGA this year, again, they call him a free throw merchant. They complain the fouls. But where he ranks is super low. Look, he ranks all the way at the end of this chart. So how are we saying what we're saying when the facts are that he's not that? I mean, that's all there is to it. The facts are he's not what you say. Now, does it look bad when you watch him play? Yes, I get it. It looks bad when you watch him play. But this is one of those weird things where two things can be true. Like our eyes are telling us one thing, the numbers are telling us another. So it's weird. But I just wanted to I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, absolutely, Transformer. Exactly the point. Those guys attack the basket a lot more than SGA. And don't get me wrong, that's not to say SGA doesn't attack the basket, because he does. But what he does to try and get to the stripe, man, it's my bad, y'all. It's too much. It's too much. He does too much. So it's a really weird phenomenon. Don't know where I really land on that. Yeah, he tries to get the calls, no question about it. But he also is not what a lot of people, continue to push on in terms of, the false narratives. So, I mean, that's all there is to it, as you saw by the chart, right? Now, we're going to have some people that's going to argue that, but the numbers are the numbers. And as you saw by the chart, he's not what they say he is. So, we'll leave it there. Chief Sid Bubba says it's the optics, not necessarily the facts. No, I get it. And that's why I said, Chief, that it's a weird situation where our eyes are telling us one thing when we watch him play, but that the numbers and the actual, the facts don't line up to that. It doesn't match up with what we're seeing. So it's a weird thing. But it is what it is. But the point is, we can't call him a free throw merchant because it just doesn't add up. Just because we don't like the way he's playing. But let me say this as well. If we want to call him a free throw merchant, then so be it. Then I just want to show this real quick. I don't want to hear anything about this guy, because there's no greater free throw merchant who's ever played than that guy. So we can just watch. Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Look at that. Untouched on the ground. Untouched again. Right? Yeah, we can watch this. Go ahead, Ed Dog. What you guys say? Oh, there we go. Look at this. Grayson Allen, one of the dirtiest players in the world, is like, what? Oh, look at that. Look how far he's going to go back before he even hits the ground. I don't want to hear anything about SGA if nobody's talking about this guy. Okay? If you're not complaining about this guy, I don't want to hear anything about SGA. Y'all know me by now. I'm about consistency. Don't say it over here and not say it over there. We see this guy out here pretending like he got shot on the basketball court. Look at that. Fronting like he got hit in the face. Nothing near him. And now he winks because he says, I gotcha. So, there we go. I don't want to hear anything about SGA if you have nothing to say about that guy, period. All right. So those are my two quick hits. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to open up the phone lines. And let's be clear. Y'all know how I get down, okay? I've recently made a resolution. I'm not debating people who aren't debating in good faith. So if you want to debate, that's fine, but do it in good faith. Come prepared with a solid argument. Don't just sit there and say stuff just to say stuff. Come with a solid argument. Come with your facts. Let's go. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Want to hear from you. Let's talk about SGA, the alleged free throw merchant. And also I want to talk about the first quick hit we had, which I forgot what it was already. Ed Dog, what's going on? Oh, it was LeBron wanting the Lakers to come to him. What's up, Ed Dog?
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, sir. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Yes, sir. What's up?
Where are the Jalen Brunson, Michael Jordan videos?
Don't need those.
James Harden, sir.
Don't need those.
Why not?
And why not? Why would you want to see James Harden? That's your boy. Why would you want to see that?
Okay. First of all, let's make this clear. That's not my boy.
That's your boy.
Anything like no. I just want to be just you said being fair, so you're not being fair. Obviously, you're not being fair. Okay, because they was now my brother. Shout out to my brother Transformer in the comments. He said flopping and free throw merchant are totally two different things. Are they not, Bruce?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Now you're saying they're two different things? Let me get this straight, Ed Dog. Now you're saying they're two different things.
I've been saying they're two different things. What are you talking about?
That's a damn lie. You harass me every day about. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, now you want to talk about somebody harassing you? Really?
Now you're moving the goalpost, but that's okay.
Not moving the goalpost, sir.
Okay.
But seriously, though, I appreciate you showing that graphic. It shows a lot. But I see you obviously caping up for MJ's era because you thought he was number one. But I ain't see no videos of him being, flopping or.
Wait. Okay. So is what you're saying? Are you saying that MJ was flopping during his time? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe, sir. I mean,
no. I'm asking you because you're saying where's the video as if you know him to be. No. You're saying where's the video as if you know him to be a flopper. So I'm asking you, yes or no? Are you saying that MJ was a flopper?
I didn't say that, sir. I'm just saying.
Oh, so why are you asking for that then?
Well, because you're showing LeBron went.
There you go. I heard you. I heard you stop yourself. You showing my guy. I heard you stop yourself. It's okay.
I didn't never
it's okay.
say that.
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you stop yourself.
No, Bruce. First, I don't know what.
It's okay.
Let me back down. Let me calm down.
You need to.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay. Anyway, sir, it's look, this stuff right here is like, look, man, it's been going on time and time again. Look, man, like I told you, like I think it was last week, me and my boys, shout out again to Jordan, graduated. We watched that game, bro. The when he made, I forgot which game it was, but bro, the man made it. He was jump. He tried to make his shot. Then dude, it's like Darren Fox. He wasn't even in his. He didn't even really touch him. He just falls down, bro.
Right. Man. So what you're saying is that SGA went to the LeBron school of flopping. Is that what you're saying?
So here we go. What? Why you got?
Do I need to show that video
MJ,
again?
Because MJ leads the that chart, that graphic.
Wait. So you are saying that MJ was a flopper? Is that what you?
Sir, I'm just saying.
So then why do you keep asking? Why do you keep? So let me explain something to you. So the first thing you did was you called in, Ed Dog, and you tried to say there's a difference. You agree with your brother saying there's a difference between being a free throw merchant and a flopper, right? And then you said that, right? That's a yes or no?
Yeah, I said.
Very good. Okay, get ready to step in this pot. Okay, so you said that. That's first. Next, you started talking about SGA flopping, right? You did, right? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
And then when I showed the LeBron video, you asked, where is the Michael Jordan video, right? So if you're right, so I'm showing, you said that SGA is a flopper. I said that he flops like LeBron. And then you said, where is the Michael Jordan video? Which means you believe that Michael Jordan is a flopper. But when I asked you just now, you said, no, I didn't say that. Okay, cool. But then you just said, thank you for showing the chart because it shows Michael Jordan was flopping too. So what are you saying, Ed Dog? You have said 3 different things that don't line up. What are you saying?
Okay, look, at the end of the day, sir, what I'm saying is SGA flopped more than a damn fish.
Okay.
Go fishing.
Okay, so that has what to do with Michael Jordan on that chart? That's what I'm asking.
Just like I don't know what it has something to do with LeBron, but of course,
because LeBron is a flopper. Because he's a monster flopper. That's why.
LeBron got to be brought
because he's a monster flopper, and I just showed it to you. Or was that AI? Did I make that up?
Was it worse than James?
Yes. I mean, yes. Way worse. Yes. Do I need to show it again?
Bruce, you have a wonderful day.
You have a wonderful evening too. Hey, look, by the way, get some aloe, rub it on your skin. It helps with burns, okay?
Make sure everybody get the like, subscribe for this Apple-out dude, and just get the likes up for this dude. Jesus Christ.
Ed Dog, go rub some aloe on your skin. It's good for burns, man.
What does it? Good day. All right.
Have a wonderful evening, sir.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody have any thoughts on LeBron and wanting LeBron and the fact that it's reported that he wants the Lakers to come to him and offer him a deal and then tell him what's going to be done with the money if he takes a pay cut, as if he's Luka. Chief said, Bubba, what's going on, man?
What's up? You know who really started all this flopping?
Who started this flop? I got Vlade. Who you got?
Bill Laimbeer.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think with Manu, they really started perfecting it then. LeBron he had to learn that somewhere. So then once they kind of figure out how to learn how to sell calls and stuff, that's why he winked. Because some of that stuff was like.
So you know why I get on LeBron about the flopping, right? More than anybody, because they always talk about how he's, such a machine and such a cyborg and a Terminator, and he's so big and he's so strong and all that. So he doesn't need to do that. It looks even worse. Like, could you imagine Shaq flopping? How bad that would look? You know what I mean?
Nobody would buy. They would not buy that at all.
Right. That's why I'm like, when LeBron flops, it looks so terrible because we know, like, LeBron is like Karl Malone size. If Karl Malone was flopping, like, nobody would buy that. It's terrible.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. But let's say with the Lakers and LeBron, this is real interesting because LeBron is being petty. Because that's the way I see it. He's being petty because, okay, you said I need to be the third option. Okay, and we've seen that Luka went down, and we've seen that AR went down. And I'm a Lakers fan. As much as I want to just go forward and embrace Luka and AR, I don't fully trust them.
Right.
That's the part. If they didn't get injured and they were good and everything went out, then it'd be easy. This makes it real difficult because when I said, I said this. Me and Coach T kind of got into it on Dreamers Pro Show. LeBron James can't be your most reliable player.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
He can't be the most reliable player anymore.
Right, and that doesn't take away from his greatness. It's just right. Just a function of, like, even he has to eventually bend to time.
Right, he has to. Yeah, he has to. But you can't have your 41-year-old being a better defender than those young guys. The Lakers need to seriously. I'm almost ready to get rid of AR and Luka. To scrap it all. You start new. So, but the thing is, LeBron felt some kind of way. Now they need to come to him. I think he's going to take less money because when you have a certain lifestyle with your wife, your kids, and everything else, man,
Right.
you don't want to leave LA.
That's right. That's right.
You don't want to leave. He really don't.
No, I get it. But here's the question though, right? And
Right.
obviously he's a billionaire, but I'm saying if you have a chance to play somewhere else, because you're probably not going to win with the Lakers anymore. You're probably not going to win anywhere anymore if you're LeBron, right? Those days are over. But if you have an opportunity, like you're not gonna make the same money that you want to be making. And
Right.
that's not going to change your tax bracket in California. Those taxes are vicious out there. So maybe he should consider maybe trying to get not that I necessarily want to see it, but to one of the Texas teams, right? No state income tax. Obviously, he's not going to go back to Miami, but you know, you get the point. You know, somewhere where the tax is less punitive for someone who makes the amount of money that he does. Just a thought.
That would work, because I did live in Houston, and boy, do I miss those no taxes when I was working.
Right.
But you know, and then too, it's kind of tough between one of your favorite players and the organization, and what should the organization do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, and I think LeBron James kind of hit a shot at Rob Pelinka. Just really think about it.
I think so.
We were out. We wasn't outworked. We wasn't out talented, but we were out talented, but we wasn't outworked or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So now he kind of waited and calculated. I think he's going to take less money.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me tell you something. If it was about winning in LeBron in 2018, he would have went to Philadelphia, or he would have went somewhere to really win, to try to pass Jordan in championships. So I think that was, part of it was winning. Part of it, I think, is a family decision. So therefore, I think that's why he's staying.
I don't think it's a family decision, because Savannah, we heard him say that she wants him to retire. Oh, I don't know that,
Right. Well, when I said a family decision, did he really go out to LA to win titles in 2018?
I don't think so.
As you like to say, the naysayers, he always has a stacked deck.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a stacked deck that year.
Mm-mm.
And the ideal situation probably would have been Philadelphia or somewhere else where he could win titles. So I don't think it's... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, those teams like Philly, the Knicks, I think there's a big problem there. He did not want to face those vicious media markets. I'm telling you, he didn't want that, man. That's a dude that he doesn't, he's non-confrontational and all that stuff. He doesn't want to face those media markets that'll make you sit there and deal with it. You know what I mean? He's never wanted any parts of that. I would be shocked even if at this point he played with the Knicks or the Sixers. But here's a quick question for you, Chief, and I'll let you go. Okay. So when it comes to LeBron, let's say he goes somewhere or stays and wins a 5th championship. Is anybody going to look at that the same? Because he's not the guy anymore. He'll be like a hanger-on and a moderate contributor. Like, he's not going to be the guy. Him winning a 5th title is not going to be the same. It's not going to do what he thinks it would do for him.
I don't know. And it's about context. If the other guys do not show up, and him at 42 shows up and shows out and win the Finals MVP, then we have to kind of look at it different.
Do you think he could still do that, Chief? I don't believe so.
Nah, I don't. Look, when you're 41, and I think we have a thing. We've been 41 before.
Sure.
The mind can tell you one thing, but the body just don't give it.
Right.
And this is what I always say to Sneed. Sneed always try to hit me with this at the end. Well, LeBron, he kind of plans out each year at the end of the Lakers, but he couldn't do that the way he used to as the number one option because of his age and attrition. That part, Steve got me on that part. Then I had to add, he couldn't do the same as the number one option for age and attrition. So he would have certain things. I think if the Lakers were to be successful, both of them would have to modify, and then you have to get the requisite pieces. But you got to have defense. You got to get younger. You got to get faster. If LeBron is about winning, and if it's not about him, he would take less money. You don't have to go all the way to the veteran minimum. I get it. Billionaires are still cheap as I don't know what.
Sure.
They don't want all their coins, but if it's about winning in your legacy, and I think that and LeBron has to think about that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think he would get the credit that he's looking for if he picked up a 5th chip. It would not be the same.
But wait a minute. Credit to whom? So what's
the credit that he wants? Because remember, at the end of the day, this is all about this so-called non-existent GOAT debate, right? That's what this is all about at the end of the day. That's why he's trying to get more stats and try to hang around and try to win one more, even though ring culture is weird, right? He told us that. But now he wants to go somewhere and win a championship. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So that's what this is all about for him. We know that, but the fact that you pick up another ring, but it's not your ring per se, it doesn't work the same.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my thought.
But it wouldn't really move the needle for the LeBron fan or the LeBron contrarian. Mm-hmm. Because we already gonna have set in our mind where we already got him at. Mm-hmm. It'll be icing on the cake, and I think it'll be another notch on the resume. But would it really move people? Will it really move somebody if their mind already made up on LeBron?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so.
Now, if he wasn't injured and if KD didn't go there, even if LeBron had 7 rings, one more than Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, 3 losses. People still question, he still ain't this, even with 7. So how you feel about LeBron James is how you feel about him. Mm-hmm. No matter what the record, if it's losing or winning, it's going to be how you feel and what you see more than the stats and the numbers. It's what you see more than stats and numbers with LeBron. That's the way I look at it.
Right. No doubt, Chief, man. I appreciate the call as always, man.
All right.
Stick around, bro.
All right.
Good call from Chief. Ed Dog is on drugs, but that's okay. Let's see. So, Young Disciple asks, so did Kobe get credit for his first 3? I don't even understand that question. That's crazy to me. And it's so interesting that people want to do that. I know who does that, and I know why they want to do that. But it's crazy to me because, as we know, Kobe. All right, let's take this call. Yes, Kobe gets credit for his first 3. For his first 3 championships, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, if we look at it, they don't even. This is what I keep saying. They don't even get out of the West without Kobe. So in 2000, right, their first season, Kobe averaged 28.5 points per game in the regular season. In 2001, he averages 25. In 2002, he averages 30. So over that 3-peat stretch, what's he averaging? About 27.5, 28 points per game, right? So we can't act like he was just some bus rider who wasn't doing anything. That's crazy. And if we go to the playoffs, he picks it up in 2000, averages more than 29 points per game. In 2001, he averages 26.5. In 2002, he averages 32 through the playoffs. So we have to stop this disingenuousness, not even disingenuousness, these flat out lies like Kobe just hung on for dear life while Shaq just carried everything. Because I keep saying it, and all we have to do is go back and do the research or go back and watch the games, however you want to do it. You can look at the numbers, you can look at the games. The Lakers don't even get out of the West if Kobe is not killing. The fact that Shaq got the 3 straight finals MVPs, did he dominate? Yes. But look at who he was going up against in the East when he got to the finals, right? Now, the only one was obviously Hall of Fame defender Mount Mutombo. He was old by then, but still. So he gets busy on Mount Mutombo when they played the Sixers. And then against the Nets, who was that? Todd McCullough. That was the starting center over there. And when they played against the Pacers, it was Rick Smits. Those guys weren't dealing with Shaq. It is what it is. But if we are honest with ourselves and we know ball like we think we know ball, Kobe got busy through that whole 3-peat run. So we have to stop that. We have to stop that. All right. Okay. So, by the way, Young Disciple, the finals where he averaged 15 points per game, yeah, he played terribly. That was against Detroit where they lost. Yeah, but you said his first 3. That's why I brought up his first 3. So just a reminder, in his first 3, his first championship, he averaged 29.5 a game through the playoffs. Second championship, 26.5 per game through the playoffs. Led the playoffs in scoring in the third championship. Led the playoffs in scoring for the third championship. Led the playoffs in scoring for the third championship at 32.1 points per game. We got to stop lying. All right. Nino, my bad. I had you sitting there. I had to clear up some things because you know I don't like the BS, man. What you got, Nino?
Hey, Bruce.
Yes, sir.
Who do I think the best player to ever play in the NBA is?
Michael Jordan.
No, I said who do I?
Oh, who do you?
Yeah.
You're an Iverson guy, right?
No, I don't think he's the best player. I think, bro, the best
Okay,
player.
yeah. Yes,
Now, hey, I'm my
Hey,
favorite.
is your favorite, right? Okay.
Now, with that being said, if you paying 42-year-old Bron the max, you need to be fired immediately. ASAP. You need to lose your job and they'll get another NBA job. It just don't make sense. I mean, what? Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
If it's the Lakers, if what Bron's saying is show me y'all plans first, which I don't even give him that ability. I'm going to make the team, yo. If they need a bunch of pieces. But with Bron saying in LA, show me the move y'all gonna make for me to take this less money. That's a little bit understandable. But even then, if I'm an organization, I'm going with my move at this point. Other than that, if he's going to play for a team that has no chance of winning, let's say Charlotte or a real young team, and they just need he going to mentor, like let's say like Jordan with the Wizards. Then okay, you pay him that 1 year, he come in mentor, do this. We know he's finna win. It's a lot of money on the table. But if you talking about serious competing for, we gotta look around, bro.
Okay.
The Spurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the OKC Thunder, the Knicks, what they strength? What are the strengths that they have? There's
They protect the rim and they play vicious perimeter defense, both of them.
And they can go 8, 9 deep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you gonna tie money in with 3 players, that's over with. Bron not that guy. We gotta be honest. The top 50 million in with, he not that guy now.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
He been that guy. Now he been that guy now.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely been that guy. But at some point, we seen it with all the greats. At some point, and when you doing something, we don't know if Bron still. It's like getting older, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
People feel like sometimes when I was 18, I still feel like that some days. I still got it, man.
Yeah.
But it's something that happens, and it'll let you know, like, nah, I'm still.
Right.
So
Can't do it like I used to do it.
He probably still feel that way.
Yeah, because
it's up to organizations to, hey, man, listen, man. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing here? What are we doing? You can't win with paying a 42-year-old Bron $50 million. Can you win like that?
No, and that's the point. And what we're trying to say, and what Chief and I both said, that does not take away from LeBron's greatness or the career that he's had. Nobody can do that.
Thank you, bro.
Right. So that is what that is. But the fact remains that he can't do it anymore the way he used to. And that's also okay to say. Like, I don't get why that's, such a big problem.
That's what I don't understand what the debate is about.
Yeah.
I've been seeing it and they be like, I think some people arguing for it on TV, or was it what's that guy? Whatever his name is. He was saying that you might have to pay Bron because they think he better than Austin Reeves. Well, my thing is, if you paying Austin Reeves the max, that's another problem you got. And you playing Bron the max. You supposed to look at the team that's winning, and you will like this, Bruce.
Okay.
They play great defense. Even the Knicks is playing good defense right now.
Yeah, they playing solid.
They they make it for everybody. So if you got one superstar that can't play defense, you'll be a fool to play one or two more that can't play defense.
Mm-hmm.
You won't win, bro.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it there, Bruce. I don't know what the debate is, but we gotta
No
be
doubt,
honest with it, man. You can't play behind the ticket.
Right.
All right, Bruce.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it.
Man. I gotta see what you're thinking about this. Wendy.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, man, for sure. All right, appreciate the call, brother.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and let's get to the next topic. Before we do that, just one more. This is for YD. Just again, because I'm looking at it right now. So between 2001, the 2000 season to 2003, during the regular season, Kobe averaged 28 points per game, 27.9. His playoff per game during that three-peat stretch is 29 points per game. I'm looking at it right now. So that's what we got. So the point is, this is not a LeBron versus Kobe thing. That wasn't where I was going with this at all. My whole point was we have to stop acting like, because YD asked, should Kobe's first 3 rings count? We got to stop acting like those 3 rings exist without Kobe doing what he's doing in the West. They don't get out of the West if Kobe's not killing. And that's a fact, not my opinion. All right. YD says Bron is better than Luka and AR, right? All right, let's go to the next topic. Okay, so last night we were in a situation where going into Western Conference Finals Game 5 between the Spurs and the Thunder, the series was tied at 2-2, and we know that roughly more than 90% of the time, the winner of a Game 5 in a 7-game series tied 2-2 goes on to win the series, right? I think the math kind of makes it difficult because obviously the loser has to win the next 2 games, including a winner-take-all Game 7. So obviously you want to be in a position where you win that Game 5 because you have a little more leeway if you lose, right? If you lose Game 5 and then you lose the next one, your series is over. But so you have to win now going forward. There's no more room for error. So we saw the Thunder doing what champions do, bouncing back from a huge blowout loss in Game 4, which, man, that was impressive by the Spurs, right? But with that, the Thunder came right back. And this is what I'm really enjoying about this series. Obviously, the Spurs have what it takes to pressure the Thunder and to give them problems and be difficult, right? Because, again, we saw them win 4 out of 5 regular season matchups. We saw them come out and win Game 1 in double overtime. Then we saw the Spurs bounce back, win Games 2 and 3. And then the Thunder bounce back, win Games 2 and 3. And then the Spurs winning Game 4 in huge fashion, blowout fashion. But then every time the Spurs start getting their hopes up, the Thunder come back and say, hold on, we're the champs. We've been here. We know how to do this, right? And they played at least 2 7-game series last year. So the Thunder aren't, even though they're great and they blow out a lot of teams, they also know what it takes to get to winning these series in 7-game situations, right? When it comes down to the wire, they know what it takes to win. There's something about getting over the hump saying, okay, now we know what it takes. And so I think the Thunder are kind of there. SGA knows how good he is, the type of player that he is. And so he's the guy that's not generally concerned. So we watched last night as the Thunder came back. They win 114-127. So big win to take a huge lead in a pivotal Game 5 and put themselves in position to win and close it out on the Spurs floor in Game 6. We'll see if that happens. So we saw SGA do what SGA does, 32 points last night, 7 of 19 shooting. So he has not shot great from the floor in this series. And really, he's had much more difficulty shooting great from the floor, throughout this playoff run, even though he's still been very productive in the points column. But last night, he got to the stripe a lot. He took 17 free throws. He made 16 of them. So he's going to punish you. Also, 9 assists, but 6 turnovers. You don't like that. So, but they were +8 when SGA was on the floor. So even though we know that the Spurs are very tough, very physical, elite perimeter defensive team, just like the Thunder, these guys are like mirror images of one another, right? They protect the rim. They've got long, athletic defenders on the perimeter. They do what they do. They don't like each other. I like that too. But yeah, SGA came out, had a big time game last night, and so the Spurs are now down 3-2, and they've got to figure out how to win this game. So let me say this. This is something I don't like, right? And again, you know me. I'm a guy about consistency. I'm a guy who's like, hold the standard. And, that kind of comes from me as a person, but also, me having been in the military, like you got standards and you got to hold those. And so what I would say about that is when you look at this, I'm disturbed with the way Wemby has been so inconsistent in his play, right? He has had some incredible games. He's, put up some record-setting performances. Obviously, there was a lot of hyperbole after the double overtime win in game 1 where he did his thing. And there was more hyperbole after the big blowout win in game 4. But Wemby has been really up and down throughout this series. And I think it's bothersome when you're talking about a guy who's supposed to be a great. Now, he's still young. So even if they can't pull off this series, he's going to have to learn from this, figure out how to have more consistency. But let's look at some of the numbers, right? In 2 Spurs wins in this series, Wemby is averaging 37, 16, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 1.5 steals. Okay. Monster numbers, right? We saw a guy named, Hakeem have some series like that, but, we'll leave that there. Wax Museum talk. In the 3 losses by the Spurs, his scoring drops from 37 points per game to 22 points per game. His rebounding from 16 to 9. His assists don't drop too much. They go from 4 to 3.3. The blocks stay the same. The steals roughly the same, 1.5 to 1.3. So you're always going to get the same effort defensively from Wembanyama. The problem is where is the offensive effort? And can we say like he gets tired? No, I don't think we're going to say he gets tired because he's young. What is he, 22? Like you don't get tired when you're 22. Obviously, none of us played in the NBA, but we can all remember like when we were young at that age and we were hooping, you could play all day, right? Go home, get something to eat, get right back out there or get back out there the next day. You didn't have to stretch any of that. Obviously, again, that's not NBA level. But the point is when you're that age, you don't get tired. You can do whatever you're doing all day long, go right back out there, do it the next day. But the point is this. When you, when you look at Wemby, there is clearly a huge dichotomy between his offensive performance in the wins and the losses. And without question, Wembanyama's offensive production is the difference maker for this Spurs team, despite the fact that they do have a lot of depth and they do have guys that can play and can produce and contribute. But he has to be the guy to be getting it done in order for them to win. And for them to win tomorrow night and stay alive in the playoffs, they are going to need another monster game from him. Because as we see, 37 and 16 is what you get from Wemby in the Spurs wins. The 2 wins, 22 and 9 is what you're getting in the losses. So he has to get at least 30 and I'd say 13 rebounds in order to win this game. And he has to be completely dominant on the defensive end, which for the most part he has been. But I'll tell you what I don't like is this. Wemby has, for the most part, he has not made any real errors in his NBA career so far. He's been a good guy, has been, fair to the media, no problems off the court that we know of, nothing like that. But the problem is this. Last night, after a terrible game, I think he was 4 for 15 from the floor, 20 points, and he only got the 20 points because he was 12 for 12 from the line, right? So 4 for 15 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3, and 12 for 12 from the line. That's how he got the 20 points. Only 6 rebounds. We'll get back to that. But here's the problem. Wemby played a terrible game last night, and then he didn't show up for his media responsibilities. I don't respect that at all. You don't get to duck the reporters when you don't play well. The same way you got to face them when you dominate, you got to sit out there and face them and answer the tough questions when you don't. Now, I totally get it. Nobody wants to sit in front of reporters and answer those questions after they didn't play well, after their season is now on the brink when they're the star player. But guess what? That comes with being the star player. You have to go and do that. There's no option, right? You can't just You can't just have it all, right? You get all the praise and all the love when you play great, but when you don't, you got to sit there and you got to deal with that too. And so I didn't like it at all that Wemby left without showing up for his media obligations last night. That wasn't cool, because if that was anybody else, I'd call it out. If that was a certain guy we were just now talking about a little while ago, I definitely would be calling it out. So I got to do it same way for Wemby. I got to do it for whoever it is, right? And so y'all know me again. I'm consistent. I don't switch it up for the guys I like versus the guys I don't like. I call it the same down the middle. So yeah, Wemby, very, very disappointing last night. Not just his play on the court, but his behavior afterwards. So you look at Champagne last night. He had 22 points. He did his job as a role player. You can't ask for much more from him. 4 of 8 from 3, 8 rebounds, 22 points from the floor. He did his thing. Wemby, 20 points, as we mentioned, 4 for 15 from the floor, 0-5 from 3. And let me see, we know Wemby can shoot the 3, and it looks great when he's making them. But what he needs to be focused on every time is dominating on the low block. Get into the post. Chill with the threes, even if it's a high post, the elbow, the pinch post, whatever you want to call it. Even if it's that, operate from no further than the top of the key down to the freaking low block. And so I was thinking about this in watching the games. The reason why we see so many centers coming all the way out to initiate high screen and roll action, which is just so dumb now. People are going to say, because they're more skilled now, they can shoot the 3. That's not why we're seeing that. The reason we see that now in modern basketball is because there's no true power forwards anymore. Back in the days when you had true power forwards, a lot of times those were the guys that were setting the screens when you did see high screen and roll action, even though most teams didn't run that type of offense back in the day. Back in the day, you saw different teams playing different ways, but that's a whole different thing, right? So anyway, you got Wemby, and he is the high screener so often out beyond 3. And I think that's terrible. I don't like that at all. I think it's not good for the offense. What needs to be happening, because we've seen for the most part, they can't guard him. So he needs to be aggressive, attacking the basket. Hanging out, shooting 3s, that's not going to get it done as a big. It's just not going to do it. So that's not what you need. Also, De'Aaron Fox last night, 4 of 15 from the floor, 0-4 from 3. That's not what you need from him, right? That you need more. You need way more high-level play from him in terms of contributing in the points. So you need more of that. Devin Vassell, 2 of 11 from the floor. So, 3 out of 5 starters shot very poorly last night. What is that? 30, 41. So you had De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, and Devin Vassell combined 3 starters, 10 for 41 last night. You can't win that way. Now, 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson, 15.7 for 13 from the floor. Okay, cool. But you have to chill with the 3s, man. These coaches don't get it. They just don't get it, man. Moody says Bruce watched the Celtics lose in the playoffs the last 2 years with their dependence on the 3. He's not a fan right now. And you know what's funny? I've always loved shooters because I believe that that's a skill set that anybody, if they work hard enough, can develop. But I'm cool with that. I still believe that. I just don't like the over dependence on it that loses so many games for these teams nowadays. And I think that, especially you look at a guy like Wemby and these bigs, I think that bigs shooting the 3 is generally lazy. Now, some people might say that when you have a big shooting the 3, it stresses the defense more than a traditional big playing the low block. But I think personally it's just lazy because that big doesn't want to expend the energy to go down low and bang. And it also takes you away from getting rebounds. So that's another problem. Like a big should be closer to the basket so we can get more rebounds. So these are all reasons why I don't like these teams shooting tons and tons of 3s. It will get you beat. I get it. Golden State won multiple championships doing that. But guess what? They also won multiple championships playing tremendous defense. And also, most teams don't have a Stephen Klay Thompson. Correction. No team has a Stephen Klay Thompson. So you can't mimic what they're doing if you don't have the same weaponry. It just doesn't make sense. But the point I'm trying to make, getting back to the Spurs, is it is frustrating to me. And now we are going to see if Wemby can pull out, I was going to say one more, but he needs to pull out two more in order for the Spurs to be able to survive. So, yeah, man. Yeah, there's something in here is making me constantly want to sneeze. I'm trying to hold it in. Very observant, Woodage. But yeah, so when you look at these Spurs, man, they are now on the edge. They're on the brink, and clearly they need to be led by their guy Wemby, who needs to have just another huge game for them to get it done. So we'll see if they're able to do that. But on the flip side, again, man, shouts to the Thunder, who are showing championship mettle. They never seem to get rattled. And even if you watch during that particular game yesterday, when you see it, you're seeing like every time the Spurs would make a run and get close, then you will see the Thunder just open the lead back out again. And that's the type of thing that a champion can do. So very impressive. All right, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this series. I want to hear what you guys think about Wembanyama ducking out on the post-game presser. I did not like that at all. I want to hear what you guys think about who's going to end up winning this series. Can OKC close it out in Game 6, or can the Spurs fight back one more time to get to a Game 7? Two best words in sports. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. We want to hear from you. RJ Raider 20 says threes are okay, but there was a game where he went 0 for 8, and with his length and his athletic abilities, he would dominate in low post or mid range. Yes. When he settles, I think that's a big problem, man. He's got to be aggressive, because think about the two games that he won, right? I gave the disparity in the stats between the wins and the losses, but think about the two games that he won. He came out early and often and attacked the rim, and he was, very, very determined to be aggressive in the paint. Sean, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Bruce? How you been, man?
Maintaining, brother. How about you?
I'm fine.
All right.
I'll admit I was wrong that the Spurs were going to clap them by 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, I was wrong on that. And they were close. I'm not now. I still think they still have a chance, but it all depends on Wemby. It all depends on Castle. It all depends, even when it comes to Fox, even though he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I also say it depends on Mitch Johnson, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wemby avoiding the media. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to the media, man. The media,
mm-hmm.
just like, as much as that we always criticize athletes,
mm-hmm.
the media are also, quote unquote jerks,
mm-hmm.
or, excuse my language, assholes,
mm-hmm.
among other people because of how snobbish they are.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like the media for decades has ruined the MVP voting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, to me, I don't really mind about players don't really care about the media because they are just as jerks. The only difference is they're not as known as the players, and they just sit in the desk or stay at home and they're just on the computer whatsoever and just calling whoever they know, whoever's there. They have their own reporters, that's scouting. You know what I mean?
Okay, so not quite, Sean. And let me say this, right? I get why.
Okay, Bruce. I mean, you're a media guy.
No. So hold on. I'm gonna explain a little something. I get why a lot of people don't like the media, right? Some members of the media are disingenuous. Some members of the media are dishonest. Some members of the media don't tell it how it is, and they, twist things to however they want it to go on both sides of whatever the issue is. I get it. But let me explain I'll speak specifically to the sports media, right? In the sports media, the goal of those reporters is to be a conduit between the team, the coaches, the players, and the fans at home. Thank you, Sean. So I know in my short experience, like whether I was in high school, college football, college basketball, or freaking NFL covering the Jags. In my small level of experience, I'm no expert, but I know that I always was in those post-game pressers or even sometimes in the locker room, and I was always thinking I wanted to ask a question that was insightful, the type of question that I know I would have sitting home watching the game after something that happened. Not, hey, how do you feel after that win? If you win, you feel great, right? If you lost, you feel bad, right? So like that's you know, but if you get media members who take it seriously and are not disingenuous and ask you questions about what happened or what may have taken place or what have you and so on, you know, who are doing their jobs, I get it. But I think that I understand why you feel the way you do about the media, because there are bad apples that spoil the bunch, right? I think that's the expression. But I'm just telling you what our job is, and some of us do that.
But I'm not saying every media member is bad. That's not the thing. I say that there is some that is a part of those bad apples that give people a taste of their mouth, like from fans and even from players. But as far as like Wemby avoiding the media, yeah, it is a bad look. It's not professional. It's not a professional look. You know, you should just like, hey, I took an L. I was passive today.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right? Exactly.
You know, I mean, I know I have to score 30, 40 points. I know I have to get 10, 20 rebounds.
Right.
You know, I mean, I know I have to do all that, but I was thinking that, hey, you know, I mean, today I could be versatile big. You know, I'll be shooting the threes. You know, showing my range or whatever. But you know, I mean, it was a bad look. I can admit on that. I'm not saying that he's off the hook.
And remember, it's the contractual obligation too, Sean. Remember that part too. It's a contractual obligation.
Yeah, it is a part of that contract.
So,
but it's what I look at both sides. So you know what I mean? Like as far as the whole thing, like the Spurs, I mean, it's not a bad thing with the Spurs. Regardless if they win or lose, it's not going to affect them because they're still going to be in the conference finals in the next 4 years.
But like, so it's easy to say that, but in sports, you never know if you're going to get back. You don't know what's going to happen, right? When the Houston Rockets with Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon upset the Lakers and swept them in the Western Conference Finals in '86, everybody said this is the dawning of, you know, something new and something special. They didn't get back to the finals until '94. So you can't ever assume that football, basketball, whatever, you know, you have to take those opportunities when you get them. So,
I mean, I understand that. Like, but I mean, in the Spurs situation, like, they're in a similar line when it comes to OKC, where they can able to build up role players or these draft picks into competent players for victory. You know, I mean, as long as they're constantly going to do that, and also as long as they even have Stephon Castle or, you know, I mean, the sixth man, yeah, there's going to be some few pieces going to be leaving here and there, but as long as they have like at least like most of the core that got them there, you know, I mean, I think they're going to be fine. But that's just me, you know.
No doubt. I appreciate the call, Sean. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
All right, man. YD, I saw you wanted to get in. Go ahead, give us a call. Nino, I saw you call back. In the meantime, Sneed got what you need. Ed Mubarak, my brother, how are you?
Eid Mubarak, bro. Same to you, man. And the fam and everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed the day.
Yes, sir.
And the Eid is good, man. It's beautiful, bro. It really is. My kids love the Eid, man. They're on cloud nine, bro, all day. They try to drag it on for a week, bro.
Did they go to school today? Did your kids go to school?
No,
my son, he wanted to go to school. They had like a field day. So
I know, bro. They want to like do all the things. It's just like
we went to prayer this morning, and after that, I took him to school.
Oh yeah, took him back. Okay,
yeah.
All right. I would go to school too if I was around Brink folks. But good. But anyway,
good evening, Ed Dog.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. So, real all jokes aside, I appreciate you. That was a good call out. When you said Victor was ducking the media, because it was a bad look. I mean,
I don't know why we keep bringing up he who shall not be named because he never done it.
No, and that's what I'm saying, that dog. That's what I'm saying. He never did. And I only brought it up to say that if he had, I would have been hard on him. Pause. So I have to be the same way on Wemby. That's what I'm saying.
But my thing is why you was never hard on James Harden, pause, because he's done it. I think once. I know he did it once when he was playing against the Clippers.
I didn't know. I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has done that. So, but you know, so see, my thing is just right here. Like he said, like you want him to get into the post and everything like that. But can two things be true that let's give credit to Isaiah Hartenstein. You got to give him a lot of props because he's been putting the elbow in his back and everything like that. Pause, but. I mean, getting to that paint has been really difficult for him. I mean, I think it really has, Bruce. That's why he's been, getting to the, shooting the threes and mid range and stuff like that. I mean, excuse me.
I just know that. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I was saying the only reason I push back on that is, like I was saying, in the two games that the Spurs have won, Wemby has averaged 37 and 16. And Hartenstein has been on him from game one. So, like, it can be done. It's just if Wemby wants to do it.
Yeah, that's true. But, he also trying to do other things, too, as well. I mean, he went to go work out with Jamal Crawford with his handles and Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, this is a top 10 center. He should learn his footwork, learn all the stuff that he's doing. I mean, I wonder if you think it's working for him? Now, I don't want him to feel like he wasted his money or anything like that.
You saw earlier in the playoffs when he hit a fadeaway game winner, I think it was, and they asked him about it, and you know who he referenced, so I'll just leave it there.
Was it Ralph Sampson or who was it?
No, he didn't reference Ralph Sampson. No.
Oh, Moses Malone.
Okay, go on with what you had to say, dog.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, anyway, now this is Game 6 is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope it does Game 7. But at the end of the day, this is all growing pains.
Yeah.
Let's not put all the blame on Victor. Look, Darren Harper. Look, bro, you're not Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
Let's chill out. You know what I'm saying? Because Casey Waters, he's reaching in the court.
Yeah.
And everything like that. I'm like, come on, man, just slow it down and everything like that. And then also, this is this is kind of jumping off topic. I don't know if you got a Knicks topic, don't you, Bruce?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say what I want to say about the Knicks.
All right, cool.
On it. But anyway, that's all I got to say, fellas. What's up, Sneed, man?
What up, brother?
What up, bro? Anyway, man, let's get the like and subscribe for the young cats on the panel.
Appreciate you.
No doubt, dog. Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Nino, call us back, man.
Calls are good, bro. So far, calls are good, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
I haven't even so I'm gonna ask you, Sneed, man, what are your thoughts on Wemby ducking out on his media obligation yesterday after playing poorly?
No good. No. We don't do that.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to stand on business. You'll be there after a win. You got to be there after a loss.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you set the precedent for your team. You set the precedent for your legacy, especially early. That's an opportunity to establish who you are. I don't like it, bro.
I don't like it either. Nino, what's good, man?
I'm conflicted on this one, bro.
Why are you conflicted on this one?
I don't think it's that tough, Nino. Go ahead, bro.
It is tough because I'm always tough on the media. I believe, but Bruce break it down so where I get this need. We gotta admit, sometimes the media asks some bull junk questions. After a loss, like these people not human. After a big game, we talk about them carrying and stuff. So you gonna be imagine us losing, Bruce. Me, game 5 at your home, you ain't even play good. The emotions up, and they gonna ask you a bull junk question to get a bull junk answer out you. They ain't asking those. They not always asking an insightful question like we're talking about.
So, Nino, does the media deserve, do people deserve the opportunity to see how he handles all questions? bull jive, legitimate, good, bad. Don't we deserve? That's in the contract. He's getting fined.
Now, see, that's where I'm going with. Now, that's contractual. That don't benefit the player for him to be frustrated and you see. Now, that's why the confliction come in it, because I 100% agree with y'all. You got to do it. Especially if you're going to be that face. I was thinking Wemby going to be the face. So I'm not holding him to Harper and them or even Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson ain't going to be the face. He's a great player, he ain't going to be the face. Wemby might be the face. So Wemby, you got to do it. I know they gonna ask you. I know you don't want them to ask you that bull jump. So they gonna ask you you're struggling. Is there anything your teammates can do to help you or something, something where you gotta not throw your team under the bus or
right.
They gonna ask you like, why are you seem like you ain't playing hard or trying?
What I would ask him, Nino, is the same way I looked it up, for this show. I say, Wemby in the 2 games, that your Spurs have won in this series, you're averaging 37 and 16. In the 3 games you've lost, you're averaging 22 and 9. Can you tell me, have you had a chance to really, get into the tape and see, are they doing anything different to you schematically that's causing you to have difficulties in the games that you're losing? Like, these are the type of questions you can ask. That's not throwing him under the bus, not asking him to throw any his teammates under the bus.
Well, why do we have to walk on eggshells, Bruce?
Well, because you want the player to be more comfortable answering the question. That's why. And if they feel like you're deliberately trying to trap them, they're not going to give you anything.
But you can ask hard questions.
Sure. But wasn't that a hard question? I just framed it, a little more softly.
Well, hard. It's hard in the sense that it's difficult to face it, but it's not hard as in like it's complicated to answer. He could speak to 1 or 2 things that they made his life miserable in the paint.
Sure.
Or entering the post.
And I'm giving him the opportunity to do that.
Right.
That's a great question. That's why they ain't gonna pay you so you ain't gonna be making enough, bro.
We gotta get Bruce those credentials, bro. We gotta get
right?
Yeah. Now if our media thought like that, that's a real basketball question about his game. And so now turn around and this is what you get paid as. You averaging 30 in the wins and something in the losses. Is it something your teammates not playing as good in the other games or something in the losses, the wins? And he's gonna be like, what in the hell?
Yeah, like why would you ask him that?
My team?
Right, that's a setup question. Me personally, I wouldn't ask somebody something like that.
You a man of integrity and moral, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get Sneed to see. That is bad for the player. Now, do we want to know that? Like it's days about lives? Yeah, I do. I would love it.
Right.
But as a man, Pop gotta be. I'm looking at it for Wemby being the face.
Agreed.
Like y'all saying, contract. I know it's gonna be tough. You got to breathe. Maybe take your extra 7 minutes.
Yeah, and they can do that because if you're in the post game presser, you're gonna wait for that player to come in there. You're not gonna get up and leave. You're gonna wait, right?
Yeah, have somebody to talk to him. You know, and give a Tom Brady answer.
Exactly. Right.
Ain't nothing.
And look, as the reporter, while you're waiting for him to come in there, you got your laptop open, you're typing your story. And you're gonna input your quote when you get it. That's how you do that. So you're not just sitting there wasting time. That's how you do it.
Now here's my concern though. Here's my concern.
Sure.
Wemby ducked this, right?
Yes.
The next time, if he ducks again, now he's a habitual ducker.
Yeah, line stepper.
And then if he faces it and he handles it poorly, now the perception of him is really bad.
Well, he's just gonna have to
now
learn.
If he steps up and he just plays it like he should, nobody's saying you have to be all happy and giddy.
Right.
You can actually go in and have somber tone, feel bad about the loss, and communicate that. Even within the answers of your questions. It's a tough loss. I didn't play well. I need to be better. It's not hard, bro. You know what Bean said after a win? What did Bean say after he won the Western Conference Finals?
Job's not done.
He ain't even satisfied after the wins. What are we looking for? We're looking for your character in these moments, bro. We would have eviscerated Bron at 22 years old if he did this,
right? And he never did. So let me give him all the due credit.
But that's my point, is you got guys doing it, and exactly. Guys do it. They get up there, and then he says, "No, I don't want to." No, I hope YD calls in.
He's about to go.
I hope he roasts Wemby for this.
Be first, Steve. I gotta be first, bro. My guy. I'm going after these. Bron been trained for this since he was 17 years old. I guarantee.
And you think Wemby hasn't?
Wemby's walking around the world at 7'5". What do you Wemby mean Bron's been trained for this?
Yes, Wemby's been playing.
He been trained like Bron was trained.
They call him alien. They didn't call Bron alien, bro.
Wemby knew from the beginning he was going to be that dude. That's why he started learning English, because he knew. He's been getting interviewed and had a microphone in his face for many years. This is
y'all right. He did play pro.
Yeah. And the last
as far as the PR answers, the answers they could give. I think Bron was trained on what to say. Like, you go up there and say this.
But Bron did say things that he shouldn't have.
Right.
But we didn't. But we didn't call him a coward. He didn't face the music.
No. But here's the thing. Let's also not be too tough on Wemby. This is the first time anybody can remember that Wemby screwed up on something.
But hold up, bro. If you're apologizing for him and Nino's apologizing for him, I don't have to.
No. But I'm not. I said before you came on that I do not like that he did this. But what I'm saying is, okay, he screwed up. Now let's see if he becomes.
It's not over. Like said, I'm not going to feel the same way if he comes out the next opportunity and does well. I'm not going to say he didn't fix it.
I want to know what y'all gonna say about this. Bron James. The only time, well, I ain't gonna say the only time, but major time we seen him get out of character. And I know what it was. Everybody else seen it as something else, but his feelings were hurt. He didn't know what to do. And he got up there last out and talk about personal gain, because that's the only thing he had when he lost to Dallas. Would you rather him dump that or get up there and just tell y'all how he feels? Because he really upset. He really mad at himself and everybody. He mad at the world right now. Would you rather them get up there and say that, or duck the media?
No, I expect him to get up there and act like a professional and not take shots at the regular people who make it so you can make all this money.
No, I'm saying, dude, if it's the truth, if he can't control it, so they're gonna ask you them type of questions.
Well, no, then I'd rather he get up there and say something crazy, because guess what? As the writer, as the reporter, I love it. Yeah,
big moments, yeah.
Right. Yeah, go get up there and say something crazy. It's all good. Yeah,
I respect that, Bruce. I respect that, man.
Right.
We need that content, Nino. You know how we do.
You already know. All right, Nino.
Yeah.
We content harvested up in here, bro.
For sure. YD, call us back. We want to make sure we take your call.
He's going to cook him, bro. He's going to cook him.
He is. I think he is.
Maybe at the end, he'll be like, 22. but he's still going to cook him, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, Transformer. That's right. This is a part of the millions.
And you know what? They'll push back and say we're people too. And I'll be like, so what?
And they are.
So what?
Right.
I've been pressed, bro. Yeah. I've been grilled. I've been roasted under pressure, put in positions where you got to make decisions and say the right things and carry the torch and, take one for the team, whatever the analogy is. Sometimes you got to do it, bro.
For sure. YD, what's good, brother?
Hey, what's up with you and Nino, bro? Hey, what's up, Steve?
What up, bro?
What's up with me and Nino?
Bro, y'all making 1,000 excuses, big bro. First off, like
you think so?
This wasn't a game. Look at that way he was going home. It's still a game 6 to play. That's first off. The second thing I got to say, it wasn't real hard to find Wemby after game 1, right or wrong.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that the way that y'all saying that it could be stupid questions asked after a loss, it could be stupid questions asked after a win.
Agreed.
He's been bold all year.
Agreed.
He should win this. That talking about shit, like going at players. He's been real braggadocious, bro. So let's not give him no like me and you know if that was LeBron, bro.
Right.
This will be a story on a 24-hour news cycle.
Absolutely.
We know that, big bro.
You're 100% right, YD. And I don't know if you heard when I said it earlier. That was one of the first things I said, that I did not like this and that it wasn't a good look. Transformer said it in the chat, it wasn't a good look. Sneed doesn't like it. Maybe I didn't go, as hard as you would have liked me to go on this, but I definitely don't like it, and I have no pushback for what you're saying.
If this was Keldon Johnson, different story. Is Wemby
Correct.
though?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because what people have to understand is that you have a contractual obligation.
That's right.
Like the networks like ESPN, ABC, TNT, they pay billions to broadcast games.
Mm-hmm.
Those contract guarantees access to the stars.
Yeah, you're right. I got no pushback. You're 100% right, man.
Like the revenue split, all that plays a part, bro. Like it's a 50-50, it's split 50-50 roughly between the owners and the players.
Mm-hmm.
If media engagement drops, fan interest and TV ratings can suffer, directly shrinking the salary cap and players' own bank accounts. So people people have to understand that, bro. And that's where you can build your personal brand, and that's where you can control the narrative.
Yep.
Like this is where I have to separate from the players, because with players talk about all the time about the media controlling this and the media controlling that. Well, when you don't go to the post game interview, that's what you allow them to do.
That's right.
You
cede power.
Any type of way.
Yeah.
You are 100% right. And I know a lot of us don't agree with a lot of things Stephen A says, but one of the things that he says that I agree with 100% is when we ask you these questions, we as in, media members, we're giving you the opportunity to tell your side. When you don't say anything or you don't show up, you give us the opportunity to give our opinions.
Let me ask YD this. YD, do you think Wemby knew in himself that he wasn't going to handle it well and he just avoided it?
I don't really care, to be honest with you.
No, I get what you're saying. I don't care either. But I'm saying, do you think that's the reason for what he did? Because I think he knew he couldn't face it.
And I ain't gonna lie, Sneed, if you right, that means he's mentally fragile. Y'all gotta face the music, bro. He's mentally fragile. Like at 22,
it's a red flag, right, YD?
I swept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a red flag.
And if this was Wemby without being braggadocious, without grabbing the ball in game one, talking shit, all that. If he was just if he was just like a Tim Duncan type player,
right?
That won, even kill, and I wouldn't have this type of smoke for him. But him having the attitude that he's been having, you got to give it to him, bro. Hey, and to all my LeBron fans, I have to say something, man, because I see y'all trying to be like 50-50 on the rules of engagement have been set, bro. I'm sorry. Like we all have to understand that rules of engagement have been set, bro. So when we know that the media will hacksaw LeBron for something, it just looks funny when they don't for other players, Bruce and Steve. I just want to let y'all know that, bro.
Listen, I totally hear you on that, which is why I made this specific point of saying, like Ed Dog was asking, why did I bring up LeBron? But I made that specific point to say, had that been LeBron, I would have went at him, which is why I had to, say the same thing about Wemby. So no, I hear you.
But Bruce, why is it like that though for you, Bruce? Why does it have to be that you would have won at LeBron, so that's why you going at him instead of you just knowing that he did something wrong?
Well, no, I'm just demonstrating the fact that I try to be objective and consistent.
You try to be fair.
Yeah, that's all. It wasn't about LeBron. It was just that.
But you know what it does represent?
What's that, Sneak?
LeBron is always up there.
That's true.
He's always up there.
He's that guy.
Where's the situation where LeBron didn't go up there?
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless of what LeBron said, just talk about how he showed up, though. He was there because I think LeBron understands the gravity of the business. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Absolutely.
Hey, the last question before I get off the phone.
What up, man?
Who's the best 22-year-old y'all ever seen in the NBA? And I'm gone.
Damn.
Oh. So wait a minute. That's actually a great question. So I didn't see Kareem at 22. But if you go back and look at what
Kareem
he was
at
doing
22
at 22
was a rookie in the
monster.
NBA.
Yeah, he was a monster.
He had just won 3 or 4 championships in college.
Yeah, 3 straight. Yeah.
3 straight. Okay.
Walks in averaging like 30 and 16. So, I mean, but I didn't see
Did
him.
he win a championship his first year with?
No, I think he won a championship in year 3 or 4.
Oh, really? For the Bucks.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, But he walked in dominating out the gate. But okay, so I'm going to go at 22 years old, Michael Jordan walks in the league averaging 28, destroying everything in sight. That's a fair argument. And Kobe at 22 is what, year 4 or year 5? So
year 4, yeah.
Yeah, year 4, and he's averaging.
And he's a champion.
He might be a vicious 22-year-old, and he's averaging 29 a game. So I don't know.
Did Magic and Bird play 4? Yeah, they played 4 at.
Yeah, Bird was like 23 when he came into the league. Got busy out the gate. Magic, I think, was 20 when he came into the league because he only played 2 years in college. I mean, there's a lot of guys that were sick.
And I'm not going to push back on who anybody picks.
Right.
Because like those guys were at 22, you knew Hall of Fame was on deck.
Sure.
They just had to complete the years.
Yeah, come on, Baltimore Bruce, call us. There's a lot of guys that Tim Duncan.
Damn you, YD, why you do this, bro? Like that's a crazy thing because you don't want to disrespect a player and say, this one was clearly better. That's a tough call, bro.
Yeah, there was some.
But what we can do is we can compare the players who played in the same era, played against each other, showed up in the finals against each other. That Bird Magic comparison that's real, bro.
So Wes Unseld as a rookie was MVP, 22 years old.
So was Wilt at 22 years old.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? An anomaly. Right. Like you were talking how Wemby's an alien. I think the original alien's Wilt.
Oh, there's no question. No,
you know what Wilt would have did to Wemby? He would have thrown him into the Himalayas.
Yeah, that would. What up, Bruce?
Oh, what the topic said again? What did the topic say? I was listening to you a little bit. I was working, and what's the topic of the discussion on the thumbnail?
So you asked if you could get 3 minutes to call in, and you don't know what we're talking about, Bruce?
I see it, but I'm just saying, like, it's basically about Wemby. Okay, I got you. Okay, basically, it's just frustration. That's all. Be a little flustered right now. You realize they're playing against a championship team that is not going to be as easy as he thought it was going to be. It's just frustration. Frustration with himself, with the refs. He's a little flustered right now. Seems a little confused as far as like on the court, as far as like the media thing. Him like bypassing the media, and he usually doesn't do that. It's just a frustration thing. He probably just like feel like talking at the moment, and that should be perfectly fine. I hate that the NBA forces guys to talk.
The NFL does too.
I just don't like that. They fine you for not talking to the media. This is like kind of like how could I say you're forcing somebody to talk to the media that's had a bad game or just don't feel like talking.
They don't have problem cashing those checks though, do they?
LeBron never did that, but because Wemby is not LeBron, he's not Jordan. I ain't never see Jordan not talk to the media. I never really seen LeBron not talk to the media. I seen him walk out that one year at the NBA Finals.
But guess what though? He sat there and he talked to him for a little while. Then he left. That's all you have to do. Come in there, answer a couple questions, and then get out of there.
Stupid question. He got up and left. It's just that OKC is just a damn good team, man. The refs favor them. They make it. Hey, I'm not saying that the refs on their side. It's just they make it look like they getting fouled. And Shea is a notorious flopper. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was plenty of emails sent to the NBA about that. The flopping that's going on in the OKC. It should be called the OKC floppers. But I plan on Wemby having a big game tomorrow night. But I still won't be surprised if OKC close it out just because of that pedigree. They just play great together, man. There's no turmoil. It's just that Spurs playing a little bit too emotional right now. I'm seeing Wemby whine a little bit more than they usually do. You're looking at the ref every time something you get bumped. Castle, Caruso runs him down on the defense end. He whining about Caruso foul. That's a playoff foul. Yeah, it's a playoff foul, bro. It's a playoff. They're a little bit emotional right now. Because they know they're better. They know they're better talent wise, but OKC got a superior chemistry, and that's something that you can't teach. It has been showing. And shout out to Fingernails, Jared McCain. He's a bucket. I didn't know he was that good. I didn't watch him much at Duke, but he's a bucket. So yeah, but Webby he was a little frustrated. So I don't think if that was LeBron yesterday, they would have eviscerated him. But that's something Webby usually don't do. And it's just a little bit frustrated. He's mad. We need him to be mad. So when we come out tomorrow night, he has 50. We need a 40-point game tomorrow. We need a 40 and a 20 tomorrow, man. We need to push this to 7. And the game 7 probably be one of the most viewed game 7s of all time if we get to that point. Other than that, boys, thanks for letting me call in, brother.
All right, man. No doubt.
Appreciate you.
All right. Let's take it to the next topic. You guys had some really good stuff on that. Appreciate y'all.
I knew YD was gonna roast him, bro. I knew it.
But he's not wrong, though. He wasn't wrong on a single thing that he said.
And I don't mind your approach to it either, Bruce, because I think you're always looking at it from the two sides of it. You know what I'm saying? If I gotta pick a side, I'd rather be tough on a player than to be easy on the player.
That makes the player better.
I think that's an important thing to learn early.
Yeah.
You know, and I guarantee you, Tim talked to him, bro.
I think he had to.
You know, D-Rob talked to him. You know, the leadership talked to him. That's a mistake you made, kid. You know, you got to get right.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's go to the next topic. Sneed, I'm going to ask you to lead off on this, man.
Yeah,
I know you watched this series more closely than maybe many of us. And the New York Knicks are now 4 wins away from their first championship in 53 years. I guess my first question to you is, do you believe they can get it done? That's the first question.
The opponent matters.
Sure.
Because the matchups matter.
Right.
But they have the stuff. They have momentum. They have leadership. I think their coach is in tune, you know, very closely with his players.
I think so.
I think the system that they're currently running and the way they want to get their points offensively, how they're kind of doing their defensive rotations, matchups and how they deal with the defense, crashing the glass, really crashing the perimeter, making teams take tough perimeter shots, nothing easy inside. Karl Anthony Towns is playing decent defense. He is not fouling foolishly.
No.
He is not just jumping and leaving the ground and picking up dumb fouls, because those things become 2 free throws. And then him in foul trouble puts him on the bench. So you can't be riding the pine while your team is out here getting cooked by one of the best teams left in the game. I think the Knicks are finding balance in their offense. The ball moves, it doesn't stick. It can go as kind of Karl Anthony Towns distributing the ball moving on the perimeter, rim rolls that are easy, Josh Hart getting secondary rebounds that get you, you know, additional shots, Landry Shamet having good moments. You're getting plays at crucial and key times that are either getting the team ahead or they're burying teams. It's been a long time since they haven't played well. They didn't play well for a couple games against the Hawks. Dog, that was a month ago.
Yeah. And
so they have been playing well for a couple of months with only that bad week.
Yeah. They've been a buzzsaw ever since. That's crazy.
And I think they're being true to themselves and how they need to play to win.
Yeah. Yeah, they said, so let me just reiterate this. I think I said it last time, but I'm going to say it again. I was wrong about firing Tibbs being the wrong move because, you know, my mentality was if they don't get to the finals, then it's not worth it.
But the opponent matters, Bruce.
It does.
So them beating the Cavs is not the same as them losing to the Pacers. So let me explain. They lost to the Pacers last year in 6.
Yeah.
They beat the Cavs in 4. 2 things can be true at the same time. The Knicks are better this year than they were last year.
Right.
Because they've addressed a couple of things. But the Cavs were just not up here. They're not up here for that type of a a series.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks did whatever they wanted from the 8th minute remaining left in the fourth quarter of game 1.
Yeah.
They just steamrolled the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
There was no doubt. So that's what I think is the intangible part. I do think they're playing better basketball, but it's more of a mentality, right? And maybe that is Mike Brown. Maybe it is. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe Tibbs was not able to instill that the same way.
Right.
But I think what you have is, I think the players are believing in what they have now, and since Mike Brown's a part of it, they may trust him and say, "Yeah, we're going to do whatever it takes. Coach got an idea. Let's execute this." I think that started a month ago, and now it's the ball's rolling. So I can't say, Bruce, that they can't win a championship. I have to say that they have a chance because they are not only a hot team, they are playing smart basketball, sustainable basketball that travels. Like they can go to OKC and out-rebound them. They could go to San Antonio and out-rebound them. They can go to San Antonio and force them to take contested threes. They can go to OKC and make Shea's life hell. They can do that. They did it to Donovan Mitchell. They could do it to SGA. Sure. Absolutely. Whoever they end up playing, which I think is going to be OKC, the experience will matter. Just like the experience matters now in the Western Conference Finals. That's the biggest factor right now, Bruce.
Yeah, no, I think you made a lot of great points there. Mike Brown is doing a great job. He's running a lot of Golden State stuff. He's got, he's got Cat playing the Draymond Green role. But what's more dangerous is that he's a much more accomplished offensive threat than Draymond is. So he may not quite be the passer, but, he is, reading the floor pretty well.
He's a fine passer.
Yeah.
It's adequate. There's nothing to be desired. He is fine. Right. Yes.
So he's making the reads in the right plays from that pinch post area, but then he can also float out. As we know, he loves to knock down the triple. And this is what drives me crazy. When he goes onto the block, he's big and strong and he plays well down there. I'm like, go down there and get busy, man. But that's my wax museum mentality. I can acknowledge that. But
I think the important thing is to present to present layers and threats.
Sure.
You cannot be one-dimensional. It doesn't work at this level.
No, it doesn't.
It's over. That one-dimensional stuff works in the regular season.
Yeah.
You're out of that level.
Right. So I got a question for you, Sneed. I was thinking about this. It's not the end-all, be-all, but I think it's going to be, if the Knicks can pull this off, I think it's going to be a nice part of the story that people can't ignore. And that's going to be the Knicks front office making the moves to bring together the core of that Villanova team that won 2 national championships with Brunson, Bridges, Josh Hart. At one point, they had DiVincenzo, but he got traded away. But, you had 4 out of those 5 starters. Those guys have tremendous comfort with one another. They won 2 championships in college. Now imagine, you got 3 out of those 5 and they pull off winning an NBA championship, and not just winning, but winning in New York City, which, look, I know you guys don't believe it, but it is the biggest media market on earth, not in the world, on earth. And when you do things in New York, it's different. Ask Jeremy Lin. You know what I mean? So if they can pull that off, I think it'll be a nice little piece of the story. Not the biggest piece, but a nice little, it'll be in there. So my thought is, do you think that has any real impact, or it just kind of happens to have fallen that way?
No, that's real impact, bro. Absolutely. Yeah, I think you're spot on with your assessment, Bruce. Now, it's not just hype. This team is good. Good coaching, good guards, good bigs. Defensively, they've been fantastic.
Yeah.
Offensively, they look very sharp. They've beaten teams in different ways, which is good, right? You can't just rely on one way, because if a team has an answer to it, then you have to be able to respond and make adjustments. They've made those adjustments.
Right.
They were down 22 to the Cavs. The Cavs punched them in the mouth, and they won that game in overtime. And Bruce, to kind of speak to your Villanova thing, right?
Okay.
The vision of, like, the general manager, the scouts, how they want to bring in guys and make things fit. The interesting thing about that is every single one of these guys on the Knicks is a role player.
Right.
Every single player. There is no exception to the rule. Every guy on the Knicks has a role. And some nights, some guys have to fulfill that role like high level in order for the Knicks to win. Sometimes it's a different guy to fill a different role. depending on who they call it from the bench.
Yeah, no,
like sometimes it's Landry Shamet, sometimes it's Bridges, sometimes it's McBride. It's like different guys,
Yeah.
Like Shamet came in and sparked them for game 1,
Yes.
and like where the hell was that coming from?
Right.
But who's the guy who pushed the button? It was Mike Brown. So and props to the guys for being ready to play. Some nights it's Josh Hart, bro. He gives you 15 or 20.
Right.
And 9 rebounds from the guard position. I just think it's incredible that they've got a bench that is competent, where you have 3 or 4 guys who could step up on any given night. And that's the same thing that the Thunder have, bro. Don't be surprised. It's the same makeup as the Thunder. And it's the same makeup of the Spurs, guys coming off the bench. What you mean, bro? It's the same thing. I got Castle, I got Vassell. I got guys like Keldon Johnson. I got a guy like, sometimes they'll, Fox was injured. Guys got to step up. You get some play off the bench. But I do think that that's one of the key factors for them as they go into this finals. They will need their bench. They will. Because OG Anunoby, nice player. He can get worn out in a series. He's going to have his spots where he's going to have to make plays. But dude, he's an injury risk. He's been all hamstrings the last couple playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be a different ball game when you're trying to deal with Steph Castle and those guys.
Yeah, or SGA or
Thornton.
Yeah, they're going to be switching. They're going to be doing all these things, and but I think the nice thing is I think Cat now has seen what success looks like, what he's got to do, how he's got to play, and I think that can give Chet Holmgren some problems. And I think they're probably going to play Hartenstein.
No, I think it has
against Cat.
I think it probably has to be Holmgren. Do you want?
I don't think so.
Do you want Hartenstein chasing Cat all the way out to deep 3 area
for at least 20 to 25 minutes? Yes.
I don't know. Okay. All right.
And then that's going to keep him off the glass. So then you've got to crash boards. Oh
all
yeah,
right, so,
that one would be an interesting series.
So last question for you, Sneed, and this is kind of, let's try not to talk about this for an hour, but we're hearing all this stuff because statistically these Knicks are on one of the best playoff heaters we've ever seen, right? Going back to what was that, game 3 of the first round, they've won 11 straight, all by double digits. And like their margin of victory is like absolutely absurd. They are out here destroying people.
It's going to come to a screeching halt.
Yeah,
they're not doing this in the finals.
No, I can't imagine against those defensive teams.
No.
Yeah. So
I know everybody wants to believe, like here's this anomaly team. I think
defense is always going to show up. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Okay, so they're not as good as you think then.
No, they are really good.
As good as you think.
I don't want people thinking
people are talking about,
it's a legend.
Great Knicks. And,
Okay, so let's say it's been a great stretch, an all-time great stretch. It's over. You're now in the finals. It doesn't matter anymore.
That's true.
I got 2 weeks to win 4 games. All that stuff I did doesn't matter anymore. We may not even be able to play the game exactly the way we want to anymore. They may force us to go a different route.
Right.
And we may have to win in a different way. I think, for one, the Knicks are going to have to win at least one game against whoever it is out west by forcing them under 100 points. You have to do it at least once. At least once.
I don't know if they.
It's what it's going to take, bro. Because the Knicks could, the well could run dry too. Where the shots ain't falling. We saw it against the Cavs.
Yeah.
You're not beating the Thunder the way you beat the Cavs.
No.
You're not beating the Spurs the way you beat the Cavs.
No, not at all.
The Cavs weren't even getting back on defense. The Knicks were getting easy points the other way. And
you're not getting that against either one of these teams from the West. But Mike Brown he's watching plenty of tape. He's got the coaching staff together. They're going to fix this. Should be interesting. I don't think it's going to be as easy for whoever comes out of the West as, So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right, you ready to take some calls on this, Sneak?
Let's do it.
Let's open up the phone lines.
904-219-8264. Call in the Format Podcast. The homie Bruce needs you guys to call in. Give us your thoughts and opinions on the topic. We're talking about the Knicks. Go ahead.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Eddie?
What up, man? So, man, I hate this. I hate to say this, but do y'all think the Knicks had the easier path?
Yes.
Going to y'all think so too? Yeah.
Do you see this as good or bad?
That's the part I can't figure out.
I can figure it out.
Okay.
It's bad. Go ahead, Eddie. Good or bad?
Why would you say it's bad? I want to hear your answer. Hear your reason why first, so that I give you mine.
If I work and I'm training and I don't spar and I got jabs, I got hooks, I got uppercuts, my punches are sharp, bro. I'm throwing missiles and bombs when I'm in the gym, and I don't spar, and then I get into the ring and I get punched one time in the mouth, and now all of a sudden the world just changed. I'm not ready. I never got punched before. All the punches were working. Oh, my nose, my eyes, all of a sudden my vision's blurry. I can't breathe out my nose. You gotta be seasoned.
Yeah. Or I haven't taken punishment. I'm fresh. Everything is ready. Those two other guys have fought to a war before, coming to face me. I'm just ready to go, and they finish beating each other
champs.
Up. No, I get it, but I'm just saying that could be the opposite argument. Those guys were beating each other up, and now they come limping in, and I'm fresh and I'm ready.
So let's just say this here for the sake of argument.
Okay.
Now with Atlanta, we saw what Atlanta did. They was hunting Jalen Brunson. CJ was hunting Jalen Brunson, and he was just straight cooking him.
Like Jalen Brunson was hunting and cooking Harden.
Bruce, we're talking about Atlanta. Okay, stay on top.
I just wanted to make sure that I understood.
He ain't told no lie, bro.
I know, but see, Sneed. Now look, bro, we was doing all good until this Jackalot Records dude just want to bring up James Harden. We not in there yet, bro.
I was just trying to make sure that I understood by making an analogy.
Bro, we wasn't there yet. We was talking about CJ and Jalen Brunson, and then I was gonna say here, right here, sir.
Okay.
I guess Mike Brown saw something and he changed it up. You think he took the rock out of Jalen Brunson's hand and gave it to Cat and let Cat be a distributor? I like that. So I didn't see him being something like this in Minnesota when he was with Ant-Man. Speaking of Minnesota,
does Ant-Man want to take 30 shots a game?
Yeah.
It's a guy.
And speaking of Minnesota, this will look bad if the Knicks win.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait. Why? Why?
Because Cat came from Minnesota in the trade.
But it's a fit thing. It's always about fit. It's about personnel. It's about how the pieces work together. This is the perfect thing for him to win a championship in New York. That means the Wolves helped him. He wasn't going to win it in Minnesota.
Yeah. So you, with that being said, you think Anthony Edwards need to leave Minnesota because he can't win in Minnesota?
No, they need to put the right pieces around him. It's all about roster construction, Eddie.
Yeah.
If they get him the pieces and the needs that they have to compete with the Thunder and the Spurs, because really that's what this conversation is about for the West. We now have to build our teams to beat those guys. They don't have enough. They have some nice players. It's clearly not enough, or they need different pieces that can do a little bit more in terms of being able to produce in the playoffs.
Well, the reason I brought that up with Cat being a facilitator, I've seen ever since they did that switch, they've been just straight cooking.
Do you know why this is important though, Eddie? Because now Cat's just not standing around if he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah, and he don't have to shoot threes and everything,
Right.
like which he still will. But at the same time, though, yeah, we knew about Philly.
But you would be cool with him walking into 4 threes. You wouldn't be cool with him walking into 10.
Yeah, I would be cool with him walking into 4 threes. Yeah, and also give you about eight or 9 assists.
That's
and
huge.
You know
That's
what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then of course, you still got Mitchell Robinson crashing the offensive rebounds or everything like that. Then Mikal Bridges being that 3. Go ahead, Bruce. Go ahead.
No, my bad. I was gonna say I will never be a fan of Mitchell Robinson.
Why?
Because
oh my God, no, what? Never mind. No,
you know why?
No. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. DJ
Hold on. Let's take 1 second. Hold on. I'm not going to bring that up. No.
No.
I got to take a second to shout out the super chat. Hold on 1 second.
Shout out to Paf.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to Paf, the engineer, with the $10 super chat. Really appreciate you. And he says, "Did you get a new quiet keyboard yet?" So that's not yet. But I appreciate the love, Paf. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Yeah, go ahead, Ed Dog.
Okay.
Clickety clack.
Yeah, so so they had an easier path. Then yes, of course, we seen what New York did with James Harden. Jalen Brunson was hunting him on. I was gonna get there, Bruce, but of course you want to bring that up just to try to prove a point when I was talking about CJ and Jalen Brunson. So sure, whatever, blah blah blah.
Okay,
get all that. So now my thing is, yeah, man. I mean, this is good for the NBA, the Knicks back in. I think Knicks fans are just as crazy as the Cowboys fans and the Yankee fans.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No, because Cowboys fans believe they're going to win the Super Bowl every year.
You don't think the Knicks don't think that?
No, Knicks fans don't think that way. They know basketball. They don't think that way.
Yeah, well, I can
bro, they were dancing in the streets when they were winning first round games. Bro.
Yeah, no, they mad hyper, no doubt, but
they was hype, bro.
No, but they're not delusional like Cowboy fans, though. That's the difference.
They are Bruce. Bruce. Take your New York hat off, bro. They are delusional, bro. They really are. You got to keep it. They are.
Ed Dog, they're not.
They up there with the Cowboy fans and the New York Yankee fans. Yes, they. Sneak.
First of all, Yankees got
like 20 World Series, bro.
Yes. So Yankees are like that. Like I get that part. And then the Cowboys are just they're insane.
But I think what Eddie is speaking to is the fact that they haven't won a chip since the early 70s.
But that doesn't.
Bro, we're about to be in 2030, dog.
I get it. That doesn't make them as delusional as Cowboy fans, though. That's two different things.
Hey, man, if you're trying to decide who's more delusional, that's a different question than are they delusional?
But they're not.
Yeah.
Because every year is not the Knicks going to win this year. Cowboys are.
For the last few years, I would say the Knicks fans have been kind of talking that talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
like for the last few years.
Ed Dog, look what your brother said, man.
What did he say? I can't look at it right now. I'm at work.
He said Knicks fans are nowhere near the level of fandom as Cowboys fans.
That's true. That's true. If I was going to pick one, I would say the Cowboys fans are the most delusional in most of sports.
But they travel, but I can say this though, they travel just like the Cowboys fans travel. Can we at least agree on that? They travel. I mean, like they'll go anywhere, like with Philly when they went to go play Philly. You seen more Knicks fans,
but they were sweeping them
2 hours away. They can hop in the whip and
a train is 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's easy work. So that's not a problem for them to do that.
But also, you got Cowboy fans also travel too as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, they travel.
They don't even have to travel well. They exist in these places sometimes. Bro. I swear to God.
Okay. But anyway, I say this is an easy path for the Knicks and everything. And also, this is my question for y'all guys: how do y'all feel about what Becky Hammond said about Jalen Brunson?
Didn't hear it. What'd she say?
She said, "Now, this is, I guess, is history and then everything." She said that if a guy that's six under or something like that.
That's old. That's an old comment, bro.
Yeah, but
that was like 2 years ago.
So but she brought it, but they recircle it back again.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Jalen Brunson cannot win a champ. He can't be the guy that can win you a chip. She's saying it like that, like guys like Allen Iverson, length and all that, couldn't win a chip.
The irony of all these statements, though, Eddie, is when you look at those players and when you look at the teams and the teams that they played and the personnel and the roster, the reason why like the Sixers didn't win a championship with AI is they ran out of offense. They weren't able to produce points, right? And then they played the buzzsaw Lakers.
Okay, so let's provide a little context here. I just looked it up. So let's see. The undersized Brunson is a notable playoff riser, though his poor defensive skills have led some to question if he can be the best player on a title-winning team. Chief amongst them was former ESPN analyst and current Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammond. He's too small, she said on a December 2023 appearance on NBA Today. If your best player is small, you're not winning. Steph Curry is the only dude. Why are we making a big thing about this? This is a basketball truism.
Yeah,
the only small guards that have led teams to championships need, you know who it is. It's Steph and Isaiah.
But the fact that those things happen doesn't mean she's right.
Bruce, what about Rajon Rondo? What was he?
Rondo was the starting point guard. He wasn't the guy. He wasn't the guy for the team.
That's not the situation. When I look at Zeke and when I look at Steph Curry, so they did it, right? Those are small guards that did it. So right away, her comment has been falsified.
But those are exceptions that prove the rule.
It's not exceptions when you do it twice.
No, but those are anomalies. Out of all the championship teams, they're the only ones.
Okay, if Isaiah Thomas did it in the 80s and the 90s, and then Steph comes into the 2000s and the teens and does it, then why the hell can't somebody do it in 2026?
Look, I'm not saying it can't be done, but in general, you don't see that happening in basketball in the NBA.
So, Bruce,
is that fair?
That you had to be Bruce,
no, it's not fair.
The main guy, right? The main guy on your team, like the Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, because I did bring up Rondo. I was gonna say, what about Kenny Smith and Drew Holiday and those guys like that?
You dare Kenny Smith? Look, Kenny Smith was good, but we know who the guy on that team was. Stop.
Okay, hold real quick.
No, I'm not saying,
hold on, really quick. Jalen Brunson, is he the best player on the Knicks?
Yes.
He's not.
Who you gonna say, Cat?
It's Cat.
Since Cat changed though, since Mike Brown been putting the rock in his hand, Bruce, he is making a point.
When you need to win the game, who you want to get it, Cat or Brunson?
That's a situation. Okay. That doesn't mean best player. That means best in the clutch, right?
I think you generally give your best player that rock, but
no, Robert Horry hit huge shots. Come on, bro. He wasn't better than nobody.
I said generally. Don't diss Big Shot, Bob. But Edo, we gotta let you go, man. I appreciate the call.
I gotta get off, but I appreciate that. You know, I get what you're saying, Bruce. He's talking about the main guy.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay, all right, brother.
All right, brother.
But
Bruce, go ahead and call
it's such an unnecessary nuance. Like, you know, like she's talking about, okay, so he's a small guard, a traditional guard, and she's making a statement, oh, you know, he can't be your best player if you want to win a championship. Okay, who cares? And then he wins one with people arguing whether it's him or Cat.
Well, then
I think she's already been proven wrong then.
Well, if that happens, then she gotta she gotta do what I would do and say, hey, yeah, Bruce. Go ahead, man.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Bruce. Bruce.
Call back, Bruce.
Hello.
Bruce, can you hear me? Yeah, if that's the case, then she just has to say, hey, because it'll be brought back up to her and say, you know, the easy way to handle that is based on historical trends. There's only been 2 small guards to be the lead player on championship teams. And okay, now he's 3. I was wrong. You can win with him.
But them being regular-sized guards didn't dictate whether they won or lost. They were part of a team. It was a part of a roster. It was part of conditions. There's too many things. 6'1" or 6'3". Who cares?
All right. Sean, what up?
Man, what's up, man? What's up, Sneed?
What up, Sean? I'm about to throw a tomato at Wax Museum over here.
No doubt.
Hey, I mean, I'll say this about the Knicks. I never expected the Knicks to come this far into the finals.
They got to Game 6 Eastern Conference Finals last year.
I didn't expect them to go to the finals. I'm not gonna lie.
I never expect them. The team I expect to go to the finals were Detroit.
I think a lot of people had Boston coming out of the East. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Celtics fan. A lot of people had Boston coming out of the East this year.
It was either Detroit or even Boston. But for me, I'm going to say Detroit because they were the first seed. You know, but you know, I mean, Jalen Duren choked the playoffs, man. Like, and then the Knicks land flew and they said, hey, we're gonna blow them out one by one, and they pretty much did. They've been blowing teams out. It was impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
And since I already know about how Jalen Duren choked in the playoffs, it's kind of made me thinking that could the Knicks, I'm not saying they'll blow them out, but could the Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons with Jalen Duren choking like 4-2 or 4-1, you know? And you just kind of like thinking like, dang, the Knicks is really that good? Because, you know what I mean, the last time I saw with the Knicks in the regular season, it was the Lakers, and we was blowing up over 20. But it was interesting, you know. But personally, you know what I mean, I think that the Knicks has a high chance because they're a fresher team. They actually, you know, unlike, you know, their yesteryears, they actually are studying teams. They are actually taking it seriously, far more than I'd never seen the Knicks ever done before. I mean, you got the guy who was a part of these winning franchises, like Mr. Brown here for with the Warriors and the Cavs and even the Spurs. So he has a lot of experience when it comes to championships. Now the only thing is like, hey, Brunson's going to deliver. Hopefully, he has a great series, but you know, I mean, I do think they have a high chance. You know, but that's just my 2 cents. So.
No doubt, Sean. Appreciate the call, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right, man. Hey, Bruce, call us back, man. Call us back. Yeah, no, Knicks have definitely more of a chance than I had expected.
Cavs tried to guard Brunson different ways, and he was able to still overcome it. The Cavs' perimeter defense wasn't that great, you know, and Brunson was cooking, and his confidence was high. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure, Woodage. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, that's gonna be a totally different ball game if you throw Steph Castle on him or Lou Dort. You know, that's a totally different situation. But you know, that's when creative coaching comes in to find ways to get your guy free so that he can, you know, do what he does.
And there's been games where he's led the team in assists.
Yeah,
and games where he's led the team in points in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's earned his reputation as a clutch performer.
Sure. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead to the final topic. And this one, all right, we're going to take it to the NFL. This one is interesting. So, all right. Here's the deal, y'all. Y'all know I really try to keep it sports on this channel. I try not to.
You don't want to talk about Mrs. Dart, bro. We know.
I try not to do too much politics and, you know, social stuff. But the fact is, we'd be disingenuous if we ignored that, because at the end of the day, politics, you know, social issues, all these things have always been at an intersection with sports in this country. It just is what it is.
Spills over, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can take it back to Jack Johnson. You know, we could take it back to the fact that the greatest jockeys were black, but, you know, because they were dominating, they stopped allowing the black jockeys to compete. And that's when the white jockeys took over. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, different things at play societally when it comes to sports. We could talk about Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then Lou Alcindor and Bill Russell, and all these different things going back and then coming forward. So I'm not going to get into all that, but, you know, if you want to do your history on that, these are all major things. So why am I bringing up the New York Giants? Is there drama in the New York Giant locker room? Possibly, right? Possibly. Hopefully not, but possibly. So this is something that I've thought about, right? Obviously, we know that race is a big issue in our country, always has been from its founding. And there are a lot of racist people in our country from its founding. But this is where it gets interesting, right? I served in the military, Transformer served in the military. And when I was in journalism school, I think my first presentation I did was actually on the similarities between American football and warfare. And I actually, you know, I did a presentation on it. I showed some demonstrations of like football plays versus infantry combat movement designs, and there's some similarity there, right? But then, when you talk about football, you often hear about, going to war and these type of militaristic type references. Why am I bringing all this up? Because when it comes to racism, for instance, in the military, because I've seen this happen, there are white people who will join the military and they've never met a black person before, right? So all they know about black people are the stereotypes that they see on TV or in music or the things that they've been told wherever they come from. And maybe some of them have some less than elevated ideas about people who look different from them. But much like football, you played football, right, Sneak?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't play football. But when you do these things and you go through, literal blood, sweat, and tears, right? Like the 2-a-days and tough practices and tough games and all that. When you suffer with people, it builds a common bond. Am I right?
That is fact.
That's something you see in the military too, right? Like G. Y'all know G. G is my guy because we met each other on the first day of basic training in 2006. And we went through it together, and he's always going to be my brother because of us, going through the struggle, doing 1,000 freaking jumping jacks at a time and all types of other crap, So the point I'm trying to make is when you're in that environment, a lot of people who may have had racist ideas and ideologies prior to, when they actually get to meet people and interact with them and learn, a lot of them kind of maybe they change the mindset. Like, wait a minute, this is not what I thought. Okay, this is different. Maybe I was told wrong. And so I'm making Remember the Titans. That's a great example, Coach T. Yes, that happened in Remember the Titans when that school got integrated. Great example. So I bring that up. As Coach T said, now when you come to the football piece, for instance, Jackson Dart, right? If he's in the NFL, he's been playing football since Pop Warner, which means he played Pop Warner with black people. He played high school with black people. He played college in the SEC for sure with lots of black people. Now he's in the NFL, which is like, 65% black with lots of black people. So maybe he holds some type of ideas, but he would have had enough experience to know the way a lot of his black teammates and the people around them might feel about things politically and socially, right? He may have had a lot of experience. He should have by now to know these things, right? And he's had enough experience with people who don't look like him to say, oh, okay, cool. So I bring this up because last week there was a rally in New York State for a Republican candidate, I believe, running for Senate. And Jackson Dart was asked to come there and introduce President Donald Trump. I'm going to show you a quick clip of that, and then we'll go on.
What's up? Look, Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I got to start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all follow with me. Go Big Blue! Go Big Blue! Go Big Blue! Go Big Blue! What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here. And without further ado, I'm grateful, I'm honored, I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
So that was that, right? And so I didn't even know anything about Jackson Dart's political leanings prior to this. But if he got invited there to introduce President Trump, okay, he's a Trumper, he's a MAGA guy, he's a Republican. All right, got it. And so the first thing I want to say is, and again, I'm not trying to take this too far into the political weeds, but we know that based on his statements, based on his behaviors prior to becoming the president, based on the behaviors of his father in business, we know this, the records are all there. You can go do your own research. Based on the behaviors, the rules that he's putting in place, the executive orders, etc., from his administration, we know Donald Trump is a racist. Doesn't matter what you think. That's inarguable, right? All the evidence is there. But again, this is not the show for that. But the point is, so it's hard for me to now look at you if I'm a black teammate, and I'm not saying every black teammate of his is a liberal or a Democrat. Some may be conservative, some may be Republican. But regardless, it's hard for me if I'm a liberal black teammate or a Democratic black teammate or even an independent black teammate, me, myself being a Muslim, and look at Jackson Dart, and now I'm looking at you side-eye like, you rock with this dude, I can't trust you. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying about me when I turn around? And so that led to his teammate Abdul Carter, number 3 overall pick in last year's draft, he put up a post on X, a tweet. I don't know. What do you call an X post?
It's post.
Okay, a post. There you go. So
you would just call it a post on X.
Right. So he put up a post.
Everybody calls them tweets, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, I still call them tweets because it used to be Twitter. He put it up, and the first thing was, quote, "Thought this blank was AI. What we doing, man?" Unquote. So basically, he's saying, like, I can't believe this is how my teammate is.
So he's voicing his disapproval for the situation. Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Right. So it became kind of a thing. And then later in the same day, he says, quote, "Me and JD6 being Jackson Dart 6, his starting quarterback, we spoke earlier as men. Y'all can keep y'all narratives," unquote. So I guess they squashed it. But my bigger point is here, and I'm going to get to you in a second, Sneed. I wanted to just lay out all the context for this, is that to me, it would seem like, because we know the quarterback is generally supposed to be the leader of the locker room, the leader of the team. He's that go-between between the coaching staff and the front office and the rest of the players, right? He's that guy. He's generally the guy that they want to talk to and ask the questions at the podium. He's the guy that touches the ball on every offensive play. He's quarterback, unless they run Wildcat, which is, pretty much gone now. But the point is, he's that guy. So I guess my question is now, how are his teammates looking at him? And do you believe that this has created strife or schisms in the locker room? And that's not to say, we know every locker room is going to have that anyway, because you can't assume that everybody is the same or thinks the same, even though they're teammates. But we also know some locker rooms are more unified than others. But how do you think something like this, Snead, has affected the Giants locker room? And do you think it could bleed out onto what takes place on the field?
100%. 100%. What he did has consequences that will reverb through the entire team. He now has lost the trust of many people. He now has given off a perception that he made an active decision. He chose to present and celebrate that president. He chose that over the harmony of his organization. Mm-hmm. See, people don't realize this. People will say that his teammates are being selfish. Mm-hmm. They'll say that his teammates are the ones forcing him to look like a bad guy. The truth is that in a game like football, in a place like the NFL, where the smallest things will derail your season, the smallest things will lose all of your positive equity with teams and players, and it's over. People are going to call Jackson Dart a racist now, because of who he has aligned himself with in that moment in time. But Jackson Dart has to understand something. You chose this. You knew that this was a possibility and an outcome that could happen. You made your bed.
Yeah.
You cannot call yourself a victim. You cannot say to yourself, don't judge me based off of what they do. I'm not them. We're teammates. No. Mm-hmm. You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
There are consequences to your actions. JK6, what'd you call him? Jackson
JD6. That's what the tweet said.
I hope that you are prepared for the moment where you fall down and one of those guys that disapproves walks right by you and doesn't offer the hand to pick you up. That day will happen. No, this is not possibly. That day will happen. It'll be in practice. It'll be in a game. It'll be in front of people. It'll be behind closed doors. You will fall and they will walk by.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did. You just walked by. That was your version of walking by.
Yeah. So I agree.
It was too big of an opportunity. Jackson Dart couldn't help himself. He had to do it. It's the president. Oh, here you go, buddy. You got the rest of your career and life to look the way you're about to look.
Right. So I agree with you, Sneed, but let me push back a little bit, right? Let's play devil's advocate here. Somehow it didn't hurt Tom Brady when he got caught with the MAGA hat in his locker. Remember?
You don't think so?
Not really. He kept on winning. He's always been spoken of extremely highly by teammates. It never turned out to be a real issue.
Do you think the fact that he won 9 Super Bowls changes that?
Right.
I mean, I can't. I'm just looking for what's different about Brady.
I totally get it.
I mean, that's the only thing I could say for sure.
Right. The ultimate win. Yeah, I get it. But you know what I thought is interesting about this as well, right? Now, look, if Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter, if Abdul Carter says they talked it out, everything's gravy, then I got to respect that. But also, not just as a black man, but Abdul Carter is he's a Muslim, unabashed. He doesn't hide it. He wore a thobe at his freaking draft party. So not his draft party, when he got drafted. So, and you saw his whole family there and everything. He's an unabashed, public Muslim. So we know how this administration, how many people in line with this administration feel about Muslims and about Islam. So I think that's interesting. I do hope that they were able to, he and his teammate have an exchange of ideas and talk things through, and hopefully they were able to see where each other's coming from. But I also, I hope that Jackson Dart understands, to your point, Sneed, how a lot of players throughout the league are going to view this. Think about it. If you are, if you're not a Trump guy and you're a defender from another team, you don't think it's going to add a little extra impetus when you rush the passer against Jackson Dart? Or when he gets out of the pocket, now he's a free runner, you kind of load up on him. You might take that extra 15 yards. You might, right?
Yeah.
You might try to take his head off. Think about his own O-line. I'm not saying they would. Somebody might accidentally miss a block, right?
A leak, right?
They might, just slip it a little bit.
My bad.
Right, for sure. I mean, you never know. But to your point, like, these things, they have long-lasting, lingering effects, and a lot of times,
and I wouldn't do that.
Doing stuff.
I wouldn't do it, bro. I stick to the script. If we're in this team effort thing, I'm not going to do that. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying that it should be. I'm just saying, sir, you have opened the door to every one of these possible outcomes.
Yeah.
Because you just couldn't live without taking that opportunity.
Right. Even if they had invited you, you could say, hey,
I would love to ask him after those things happen, for example, in real life. I would love to ask him, was it worth it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you now, even though we could, because there's a little bit of thing with Abdul Carter, who's like, what, best player on the defensive side of the ball?
He's up there. I don't know if he's the best.
Maybe second best defensive. So, like, prominent player who's going to be stepping into a leadership position.
Sure.
Right? I mean, rookies don't typically lead.
Right.
But within a couple of years, when the rest of the defense looks at you as the best player, they're like, you're leading us.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, this was something I just I thought that I wanted to talk about.
It was also weird, Bruce.
I wish Transformer was here for this.
He was screaming like blue, big blue or whatever, like, which is like not MAGA or whatever. They weren't really trying to chant about the blue.
It was Go Big Blue because Big Blue is the Giants. So
right, but did you see how people weren't really with it?
Yeah.
Because blue's the other side.
Democrats, bro. Yeah, that's a good
point. That was and let's be honest, bro. There are some walks of life where they blue, like
they were in New York. I think that's why he was like, let's go Big Blue. And it was in upstate. I think it was like Long Island or something like that. So yeah. All right, cool. Let's take a couple calls on this and then we will get out of here for the night. Yeah, I wish Transformer was here for this. I know he would have some very interesting comments to make.
Now, and also when you look at the dynamics of people in politics, MAGA and conservative are not the same.
Not at all.
They're not even remotely related.
Sid Bubba, what's going on, brother?
What's going on? Aki Bruce, Aki Sneak.
What up?
Man, I guess, maybe my personal political views of this president and how he frames the black athlete because I'm kind of petty. I didn't forget Colin Kaepernick when he talked about,
why don't you get that SOB off the field? Yep.
So when somebody like that, if you align yourself with somebody like that, you can say, "Oh, he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's not really like that."
Mm-hmm.
Tell you something. When he, and I guess being from the military, Pete Hexton,
Mm-hmm.
I could not stand the
That's
man.
his guy, bro.
That's his guy.
I cannot stand him because
Same.
all he talks about is DEI
Mm-hmm.
as far as in the military. If you work hard, I work hard, Transformer work hard to get our rank up,
Mm-hmm.
being good soldiers and good sailors. It wasn't because they gave us no DEI.
Right.
It was because we deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
So that has me thinking about Dark.
Exactly. Exactly.
So those kind of things that had me really thinking. One thing I love about sports and I love about the military is the race. It's there, but sometimes you have to show them. Nah, see, you're not as good as you think you are. Michael Jordan also felt like that. I don't think nobody's a better player.
Mm-hmm.
So how is teammates gonna feel if Trump says something offensive? So how you gonna lead your men?
Right. If Trump says something crazy, his teammates gonna be looking at him like, "Yeah, that's who you rock with, huh? All right,
that's who you rock with."
Mm-hmm.
So I know we have it. Yeah, I know we're professionals. We have a job to do.
Right.
When you are in like you said, when you suffer and you bond with somebody, the relationship way different.
Yes.
I got to be able to trust you. And and kind of like the thing with Pete Hexton. He was a trash ass officer. I'm just gonna call it like I see it.
Right.
He was not the best officer, and he, tried to, knock down people that didn't look like him and said everybody's DEI higher. So, so what if your teammates are, intelligent, smart? How do you really view me as a professional? So those type of things would go on in my head with him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
With Tom Brady is savvy enough to say, okay, yeah, he's a friend of mine, but I'm not going to get in that politics, guys. I'm going to trust and believe in you all. This guy got on the stage.
Right.
So that's a huge difference. He going up there leading the tent. So on those issues, and you got to be mindful. About 80% of the league is African American. So
right.
You have to be mindful of your teammates, and I don't think he was.
No, I don't think he was either. I think that was a very poor decision. That's what Sneed and I were saying. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how opposition reacts there if they don't take a little, put a little extra something, a little extra hot sauce when they go to, bring the heat to him, or even his own teammates. Somebody might.
What do they call that in New York? Mustard, a little extra mustard.
A little extra mustard on that. For sure.
But also too is this. I really don't have like if somebody. We'll see. And I'm gonna use Barack Obama.
Sure.
The one thing I can say about Barack Obama, whether you like him or not, he wasn't this polarized or disruptive. He was kind of in the middle.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
Right.
But I'm just now because his success might have made other people mad and people fear. Well, he took something away from me, which he didn't. So, but if he did would it really matter? Because guess who who caught a lot of slack for the Hillary rally, and LeBron James did. A lot of people. It's not the fact that they didn't like him that gave them extra incentive not to like the man. So when you get into politics, you better, and you got teammates, you better be mindful of them and how they think and how they feel.
I agree, especially when you're the quarterback. That's the thing. Like you're the leader. Like that's the crazy part.
Right. So, and then you also got to know who you rallying for. the crazy stuff this man said.
Mm-hmm.
So if those kids, let's just say, he don't like people from SO countries. He don't like immigrants. Guess what? A lot of people from New York,
Yep.
are immigrants.
Yep.
So his fans might, and New York is also a blue state. So it's okay, but if you're going to lead them and you're going to be a rah-rah guy, you better know what that man, you better know who you following.
Right. Agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Agree.
I'm like Sneed. When they knock the snot out of him,
yes,
what are you going to do?
Right. That's going to be interesting.
Anybody get the license plate number on that truck?
Right. No doubt. All right, Chief.
Man.
Thanks for the call, brother. I appreciate you, man.
All right, Chief.
All right.
Just don't
Good
be
call.
surprised. Just don't be shocked.
Yeah.
Just don't be like, how could this be?
Right. And I understand that, a lot of people look to sports as a release or, an opportunity to get away from, the stress and all the real world issues and all that. But that's why I started off the way I did with the soliloquy, basically talking about how sports and, social issues and politics have always intersected as much as we try for them not to. There's just no way around that. So this was one of those things that we had to address. And, as we continue to grow here on the Format Podcast, it's one of those things where we will from time to time, talk about the more, I'll say, important topics like this and the more nuanced topics like this. And we'll try to handle it with the, as I said, the grace and the context and the nuance that these things deserve. Now, let's be clear. Nobody here is saying that Jackson Dart puts on a hood and rides around at night. No one is saying that. But there is some rational assessment that needs to be done when you see certain people behaving in a certain way. So,
yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to leave it right there, y'all. Looks like we're not going to get any more calls on the topic. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. If you're watching on the replay, appreciate it. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody who called in. Path the Engineer with the super chat. We appreciate that as well. We are going to leave it here, and we will be back. We'll be back when we get back. We'll probably be back again before the next Sunday show. We look forward to it. Can't wait to have
basketball games to talk about.
Basketball game matter. Yeah, we got the Western Conference. What could be the end of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow night. So we will see what happens. But yeah, appreciate y'all so much, and we out. Peace.